Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one, so I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on this surface, but I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some, defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one, so I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on this surface, but I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some, defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one, so I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on this surface, but I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some, defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one, so I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on this surface, but I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some, defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one, so I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on this surface, but I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some, defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on this surface. But I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some like defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on this surface. But I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some like defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
You've been to the French. If there's one match from Rafa's story where you think that was a missed opportunity, there was a big chance.
There have matches,
2
or 3 in Australian Open. No more. We lose the opportunity in Wimbledon against Djokovic in semi-final.
2018.
Then we lose the opportunity, more important because that was semi-final. We lose the opportunity in Australian Open. In the Australian Open, 2014, 2012, and 2017.
Yeah.
In 14 because he has an injury against Wawrinka that before he had never lose against him. Then with Djokovic and Federer, he had breakup in the 5th.
Yeah.
And 40-30 or the 30-50, I don't remember well. It was a ball very close, goes up. But this is what happened. There was in Roland Garros 2009. Of course, he I am sure that he won. He won this tournament when he has no problems in his knee, because at this moment he was the best. He won Australian Open, then he won the tournaments on clay, and he arrived with problems in Roland Garros. For this reason, in my opinion, he lose. But there are others time that maybe he has to lose and he won.
Coming to you every evening, night, day, depending on where you are in the world, will be The Last Ball Drops. This will be a show on talking tennis as soon as that ball drops on the last match of the day, morning, afternoon, evening, or night at Roland Garros, probably on Philippe Chatrier. We will go live with a review of the day's play. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. That way, as soon as we go live, you'll get the notification, you can come and join us, and you'll get to hear the thoughts of people such as Mario, Damien, Jack, Nick, Many more, maybe even me, from time to time. You know the drill. Make sure you subscribe. See you soon.
Ready? Play.
A lot happening. There I'm there. I just couldn't see myself on screen. Welcome to anyone wherever you are in the world. Hopefully we have a wide range, as has been pleasantly happening over the last few streams, a few commentaries that I've done. A lot happening at Roland Garros over day 3 we're on, day 4. We're on second round matches now. And world, yes, and getting distracted easily. So a lot happening. We've got tweeners, a lot of tweeners today. We've had 15-13 tie breaks, some amount of talking points, but we're going to focus on Novak Djokovic versus Márton Fucsovics from Hungary, and the night session on the Philippe Chatrier court here at the French Open. So, get involved as always, just keep the chat going. I'll keep you up to date with what's happening on the tennis court, and any other talking points that come up throughout the couple hours. I'm sure maybe 3 hours. And on the tennis, just let's discuss tennis. Of course, still plenty more content to come from talking tennis this evening. The last ball drops, which will basically go through the day's roundup. I'm sure producer John will let me know who's on it this evening. But yeah, that'll be a roundup and a look back on what's been an eventful day again. Some of the at the moment ones that I've caught up with, it's Nick and Damien on tonight. So get people in those two. So yeah, please do get involved, watch along, and we can chat about the tennis tonight. But yeah, some results throughout the day. I've just left. So Alejandro Davidovich Fokina has beaten Luka Van Asch. I was watching that. Van Asch was serving for the third set, obviously with the home crowd, and Davidovich Fokina will be facing the winner of tonight's Djokovic and Fucsovics match. So he'll be awaiting the victor here. What else did I watch today? I watched a bit of the Hurkacz Griekspoor marathon tie-break there. 15-13, Griekspoor took it, and it looks like he's a game away from winning that match after being a set down. Big shock there. Well, maybe not too big a shock, but another seed falls. Where else are we? Musetti sailing through his match against Shevchenko so far, 6-1 in the first, and they're just going on to the second set now. But I mentioned tweeners. I think we had Kasakina doing a tweener in the ladies' side of the draw, and we also had I watched a bit of the Alcaraz match. He looked good for the most part. Had a bit of a slip in the second, but he looked pretty confident and pretty formidable in set 3-4. That was included a double tweener where he did a lob tweener, and then Taradano did one back before a drop volley won him the point. Producer John has highlighted Alcaraz getting questioned afterwards. What was happening? Foki, yeah, Jane, hi, how you doing? Your man Davidovich Fokina has come through his fight with the homeboy Luka Van Asch. But yeah, question to Alcaraz posed after today's victory was Stefanos Tsitsipas told us he really enjoys spending time with you because you bring joy to the world and you're happy all the time. You keep smiling, you keep winning. So I wanted to know, are you smiling all the time because you win, or are you winning all the time because you smile? And he answered, I'm winning all the time because I am smiling. And I always said that smiling for me is the key to of everything. And yeah, I enjoy being this kind of stadium, these kind of tournaments, these kind of cities. That's the most important for me to enjoy, and that's why I smile all the time. I've got a feeling I know who would have posed that question. It may have been a guy called Jonathan Pinfield. He likes to be a wordsmith with his questions, so it may have well been Jonathan. I can't confirm that. I don't know. I would need to go through the actual press conference, but that just sounds like one of Jonathan's questions. So as we look ahead to the big one tonight, obviously 22. Yeah, it was. Is that John? Is that you confirming that? I think that's exactly who had asked the questions. It did seem like one of his. If you ever want to see some of the players, get asked the same old question, how did you feel after the victory, etc. Jonathan is one who will go out there and ask maybe a bit of a different question, and the players seem to respond to it. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I know Tsitsipas likes being asked, looks forward to Jonathan's questions, and I'm pretty sure Casper Ruud recently, because he asked Casper about being compared to Niall Horan of One Direction fame all the time, and then basically mixed that up, basically saying, does that mean that your career is going in one direction? So he knows how to play on his words, does Jonathan. So yeah, check him out, give him a follow, and I'm sure he might see a wee spike in followers and wonder why if he's not watching. So on to tonight's match. The players are currently coming out onto the Philippe Chatrier court, and as they do, I'll just give you a little bit of context for the match. Djokovic 4-0 against Márton Fucsovics, but this is their first meeting on clay. Djokovic, he's aiming to actually reach the third round of Roland Garros for the 18th 18th consecutive year. And the Hungarian, he's 2-5 versus top 10 opponents at Grand Slams. He defeated Medvedev here, of course, going out yesterday. He defeated Medvedev here in 2020. And he also defeated Rublev in Wimbledon 21. So he can play against the big players. Obviously, Djokovic coming out there holding hands with, I think, the mascot girl. But Djokovic is a different animal to others. Of course, 22 Grand Slam champion, going for 23. Well, I just try and I'll get my battery in on my laptop. I've just had the warning. But yeah, so Greek Sport is still serving for the match here. That seems to have been a while. I saw that about 10 minutes ago. Mute, I did have that one on earlier on. The Mute Rublev match, two fiery characters, aren't they? Especially on the clay courts. Mute, I kept it on purely because I wanted to see if he was going to do anything daft. He did, you could argue not daft, but he served. If you haven't seen it, get looking on. Yes, he has. Yeah, Davidovich Fokina has taken down two Frenchmen. Of course, other fields in the first round, and obviously the French crowd getting a little bit boisterous. I think the umpire on that one had to, give some guys a warning. But Muti, he served an underarm ace against Rublev just at the start of the second set, and I don't think the Russian was too happy. Of course, went on to dominate that second set, but Muti is fighting back, and he may have got into Rublev's head, as can be done. Players on Chatrier, they're just getting their photos taken at the moment with a couple of the young mascots, and we will probably have a bit of tennis anytime soon. So Jane, first person to give us some chat. But anything goes in terms of tennis chat as usual. Let us know your thoughts on the match, how you think this one will go. I had a decent start to Roland Garros, 2 matches on Sunday, predicted them both, even the set count, Rublev in 4 and Pegula in 2. However, I've let myself down a little bit. I did predict that my pick was Daniil Medvedev, and of course that didn't end well for me. So a shock yesterday. Of course, Wild, the Brazilian Wild, played some great tennis. I caught glimpses of it as it was a day match, and I had other commitments. But as far as I could tell, he was well worth his victory. And I'm sure it may have been Jakob on Sunday with me. I had an inkling that he maybe mentioned that he had, that Medvedev would have some struggles. So, as I say, these guys know, especially the guys coming from the Challenger Tour, they know who can cause the bigger guys problems. But yeah, this one I'm going to go with Novak Djokovic in 3. I think he'll just have too much. He's starting to, after an up and down clay court season, he's starting to look like he's getting in the mood. And there's no strapping on the elbow anymore. He looks like, as always mentioned, you can't write him off. He's quite open about how he, everything is focused towards the Grand Slams and being ready for them and being in peak condition for the Slams. So, with Nadal being out of the draw, he will see this. This might even, he might be putting so much focus on this because he knows he doesn't have to get through Nadal. I'm sure I saw earlier on actually that it was actually exactly 12 months since Nadal beat Djokovic on this court 12 months ago, I think in the quarterfinals in 4. I remember watching that. So it's just amazing where 12 months goes. As I mentioned, the head-to-head for these guys, one-way traffic for Novak, 4-0. I'm sure he's only lost 2 sets to Fucsovics before. He's played him twice in Grand Slams. Yep, there it is. The US Open, Fucsovics managed to take a set off him in 2018. And then there was a straight sets in Wimbledon, but he did manage to get the Paris Masters, of course, indoor. And Fucsovics managed to take a set off the great Serbian. If you don't know Fucsovics, you may have seen a half-naked Fucsovics at the start of the year. It was a viral photo that went pretty much all over social media. He basically took his top off, looked pretty ripped. Similar to myself, I joke. He kind of went all over social media because I'm sure somebody tweeted saying people who don't like tennis would wonder why this guy doesn't win, every tennis match. And there is the very photo. Look at that body. Fucsovics actually himself, not shy in talking about how he got ripped after a bad 2022 in his eyes. And so he spent the winter basically every day in the gym, and he basically thinks he can compete. He's of the opinion that all the younger guys are out there smacking the ball as hard as they could, and the 31-year-old has basically said, well, I'm going to compete with you, and he's had some decent results this year. I'll update you as the match goes on. Looks like Djokovic won the toss and is opting to serve first. And they're just seconds away now from finishing up the warm-up and starting this much anticipated match. As I say, it is looking like obviously there'll be a decent crowd in. What a match last night, though. Of course, if you haven't watched it, I saw Tim Henman actually describing it as one of the greatest first round matches he has ever watched. Game one piece, coming back from 4-love down in the 5th and delighting the home crowd. I think he hadn't won a tour match in over something like 250 days. I would need to find the exact stats. So some victory, some the new dad coming back and doing it for the home crowd. I think he was cramping a lot in the 5th set as well. So if we have anything like that, we're going to be in for the long haul. But let's just wait and see as Djokovic has the ball in hand. Fucsovics in luminous yellow and black shorts and black top. There's Gael Monfils celebrating last night, limping to shake hands with Sebastian Baez at the end of the match. Djokovic in red and black, and he is just about to serve. And let's see how Fucsovics can handle Novak Djokovic. And first point, good serve by Djokovic, short rally, and Fucsovics goes wide of the tram lines. Remember, guys, if you have joined us for the first time, a little bit about us. We're obviously a tennis community, growing all the time. Do some commentary, talk throughs just like this, some podcasting, some streams about the day's events. Get subscribing, get liking, get following the social media channels on Twitter, etc. I'm going to keep a look on Twitter just to see what people are saying about tonight's game. And I will update you with that as well. Looking a little windy, as producer John has mentioned. I think that was certainly played a part in some bits of the Alcaraz match. You could see Alcaraz's shirt and shirt waving about. And but yeah, for the main part, the world number one Alcaraz did look pretty comfortable, and he, that blistering forehand and the drop shot are well on show. And as I say, the lob tweener from him, was a particular highlight. Enjoyable to watch as always. As Djokovic 30-love up, second serve here, and he slice serves it down the tee. Return into the corner by Djokovic. Fucsovics can only find the net, and a fairly comfortable start for the Serbian, of course, going after his 23rd Grand Slam, his third, if I'm right in saying his third Roland Garros. He will see an opportunity. Although there is players who will be in his way, of course. Alcaraz due to meet him if all goes well for both in the semi-finals. You've still got Holger Rune. How much can he last the 2 weeks of a Grand Slam? Fucsovics now dominating the point here, and he surprises many with a drop shot, a slice drop shot to catch Djokovic off guard. It was a good cross-court backhand by the Hungarian, and the follow-up was a slice drop shot that literally trickled over the net, and Djokovic he knew he was beat. 40-15, and Djokovic actually applauds the Hungarian who is actually very good friends with Daniil Medvedev off the court. And Medvedev, of course, he actually did a bit of a kind of parody of the famous Fucsovic photo when he basically compared his leg muscles to that of the upper torso of the 31-year-old as Djokovic cross-court inside out. Fucsovic managed to get it high, block return. And it was a wild smash by Djokovic. A wee bit edgy. I said it was a comfortable opening game. But Fucsovic has kept the ball in the court the last 2 points. And Djokovic just seemed a little bit, just a little bit nervous, a little bit edgy, which is, a strange thing to say about somebody who has, been around the block and then some. As he serves, I'm sure he'll serve an ace here. And shut me up as he loads up. Wide serve. Fucsovic return up the line by Djokovic. Fucsovic gets to it. Cross court by Djokovic. Sliced backhand by Fucsovic. Forehand cross court by Djokovic. Clips the top of the net. Fucsovic back across the court. Fucsovic this time down the line. He seems to have got control of the point now. Fucsovic down the line. Great play by Fucsovic. He's up for this. He's already had a fist pump there. He knows, it's very early in the match, the first game. He's not just letting Djokovic at 40-love up, get to the changeover early. He's fighting for every point, and that is a trademark of the Fucsovic game. He will battle. But it was a great forehand down the line. And is this early pressure for Novak Djokovic? As Djokovic first serve in, again, he tries to go wide and then up the other side of the court, an inside-outside forehand and again by Djokovic into the corner, block return by Fucsovic, goes long, and Djokovic has done it. I'm just going to try and get my battery. 2 seconds. This isn't very professional. I'm getting warnings about my battery from my charger. There we go. All sorted now. Apologies for that. And didn't miss anything. Djokovic was going long. These things happen on live streams, of course. So, Djokovic serves. Fucsovics down the line. He's going to try and use that forehand down the line. He tries another drop shot. Djokovic is reaching up at the net, and Fucsovics rallies it right at him pretty much. And that's what you've got to do in these situations. This is going to be a battle. If Djokovic thought he was going to have it, I'm sure he didn't, but if Djokovic thought, he was going to have an easy night, I think Fucsovics is showing that it will not be the case. Just now, number 2. Just while we wait, Djokovic loading up now. Let's just see if any of the other matches just finished. Is the Muti match still on? Yep, Muti won the third set versus Rublev. As Djokovic loads up first serve. Again, wide. Fucsovic returns. Slice return by Fucsovic. Djokovic forehand cross court. He's liking that one at the moment. This time up the line. Fucsovic still making a match of this. Cross court by Djokovic. Again, inside out by Djokovic. Fucsovic staying in the rally. He's on the defence though. Djokovic up the line, winner. And now he's starting to feel it, get his range. But Fucsovic, how long can he keep up going side to side? And that'll be the tactic from the Serbian, just tire the big man out. Because then set 2 and 3, he might be out of puff, as we may say. Jane, what you saying? Mary looks, I'll just pull up Jane. Maybe it looks like one of those wacky flags with arm waving things. So I'm like, I agree. I think he was just, taking the mick, as we say, when he compared it. I'll try and find the link where I saw that he had. Okay. So Djokovic wins that first game as they go for a quick changeover. I'm just going to go through a couple of things. Okay, sorry about that. Just checking the messages. I think Medvedev was taking the mick a little bit, just comparing his leg muscles to that of the Hungarian, his Hungarian pal. And I'm sure he'll be watching somewhere, a little disappointed, but I think he'll probably be supporting the Hungarian. So, as always, get in touch. Let us know what your thoughts are. Davidovich, Vakina, which will be a tricky tie for either one. He's an all-action player. Another one who won't concede early. He'll just keep fighting to the last point. And we'll maybe check out, depending on which way the wind is blowing. We'll maybe check out the head-to-head records of either way, Fucsovic or Djokovic. Maybe in the second set, as Fucsovic serves down the tee, first serve will be important in this match. Cross court, backhand to backhand. Djokovic this time with a drop shot, great drop shot. Fucsovic not fast enough, is a little bit on the slow side compared to a lot of the players on tour. Djokovic will know that, or that might be a little bit of payback for the one in the first game. But he wins the point. Djokovic love 15 already on the Fucsovic serve, and he'll be hoping to get an early break. Fucsovic now, he was showing some leg. Fucsovic again, first serve in. Did that? Well, no, I spoke too soon. Line just called that just long. Fucsovic now, good first serve, second serve, cross court, backhand, forehand, up the line by the Hungarian, back by Djokovic, but the Hungarian can only find the net, and it is love 30 from pressure at 2 deuces in the first game. Djokovic will see an opportunity here, and he will look to capitalise. Very, very dapper though. Fucsovic, he's got a lightning bolt on the front of his top, and he does a good serve and then finishes at the other end of the court. Deuce court, a serve, ad court finish, and that is 15-30. course, Thanasi Kokkinakis beating Stan Wawrinka today in a 5-setter. We've had a lot of 5-setters so far. The first round, I think there were 64 matches, and 20 of those 64 matches were 5-setters. I believe there was 9 qualifiers made it through to round 2 and 2 lucky losers. It's been an eventful start to the second Grand Slam of the year. Of course, Kokkinakis beating Wawrinka champion here 8 years ago. Norrie coming through against Frenchman Lucas Puyol. As Fucsovics serves, this time Djokovic drills a return right at his feet, and he can only put the +1 long. It's a break point. The first break point of the match goes Djokovic's way, and this will be setting down a marker. Might take a little bit of wind out of the sails of the Hungarian 31-year-old, 83 in the world, as Fucsovics as he serves. Does that catch the line? It does. Djokovic isn't happy with it though. It did look close. Djokovic stopped playing straight away, and the umpire comes down to confirm that it is long. Second serve, let's see, Hawkeye. Yep, Hawkeye confirming just long, but Djokovic knew straight away. Second serve and break point, not looking good for the right-hander. Second serve, a lot slower kicker, looked back by Djokovic, but put away. Well done by Fucsovics. Put away down the line, winner. Well played. Showed some composure there. A difficult shot, especially with the looping topspin ball by Djokovic, and he puts it away. So just now could be, the start of a lot of tight games here, and it'll be just who, as always, who takes their opportunities when presented. As Fucsovics with his lightning bolt top, he serves first serve again, but wild forehand +1 goes well long. He's looking a little under pressure, a little stressed as Márton Fucsovics at the moment. And you can see Djokovic not making the same mistake this time, and raiding maybe the kicker serve if it goes to a second. Let's see. Decent serve. Another loop return. Only just makes it in the court by Djokovic. Fucsovics goes cross court. Djokovic reads it. Again cross court by the Hungarian. Up the line this time by the Hungarian. A looping forehand by Djokovic. Cross court by Fucsovics. And Djokovic has forced him long. And it's a break of serve. 2-love to the Serbian. And well played. He knew he was waiting. He was waiting for a mistake there by the Hungarian. Played a lot of looping balls there, forcing him back, and one that just caught the line. Great depth, and all the Hungarian could do is go long. 2-love Djokovic. So a great start by Novak, and the Novak fans will be happy. As he serves at the moment. Down the line, good strong first serve and put away. Another winner by Novak Djokovic. We'll try and pull up some stats for you as we go along in this match, and can tell you how many winners, the first serve percentage, etc. I'm just going to pull that up now. But 15-love to Novak Djokovic. Reload down the tee again. That one looked into me, but the umpire Djokovic isn't arguing it, so it must have been long. Second serve, Djokovic. Fucsovics clips the net. Djokovic tries a drop shot. He's going to make this. Not Fucsovic got there. Is it out? It's out. Oh, so he got to the drop shot. He'd clipped the net. Fucsovic has clipped the net. Djokovic tried the opportunity for a drop shot. Fucsovic rushed to the net, made it just, but put his clipped return wide. Yeah, it's 30 love, although the scoreboard has not updated as yet. It is indeed 30 love, though, I believe. Maybe I'm incorrect. He's already served a winner, so I don't know. Unless they've replayed the point there for whatever reason. But Djokovic serve, not a serve and volley, but a serve, and he puts away the +1 shot. Let's see. Oh, he did volley that one there. It was a slice volley to settle that one. And this time the applause that Djokovic had given Fucsovics earlier is returned. And you know what? I think they did replay that point because it is only 30 love. Wide serve by Djokovic. Good return by Fucsovics. And he can only go long, though. And Djokovic is 40 love, 2 love. And just 1 point away from consolidating the break of serve and being firmly in control of this match. Down the tee serve, unreturned, and it is 3 love for Novak. Looking pretty ominous, certainly, in the first set so far. Djokovic has come out and he has probably got under the skin of the Hungarian. Maybe trying to think of a different tactic to use, but Novak looking very, very good. And with each match, you know that Novak's going to just get better and better. And he'll be wanting this one done as quickly as possible. Just to update you on current scores, the last time we checked, Musetti had won the first set 6-1. That is now... Second, take a sec to load. Okay, let's just give you a quick upgrade of the other. Right, so Musetti 6-1, he's 2-1 up in the second. Rublev Muti still battling it out. And funnily enough, at Griekspoor, I don't know if he was serving for the match. He certainly was 5-4 up at one point against Hurkacz, but Hurkacz has actually taken that fourth set. So he's took that 7-6 in the tiebreaker to 7-5 in the tiebreaker. So that was the second tiebreaker of the match after the third set went to 15-13 to Griekspoor. Muti and Rublev still battling out fourth set. That's potentially another fifth set, 5-setter. Musetti looking a lot more comfortable. And Djokovic, of course, 3 love up in the main feature match. As Fucsovics now with his second service game. First one is a fault for serve. And we'll just see what's happening. So a slice second, poor shot by Djokovic, goes long on a fairly makeable return there. Just got a little bit excited, and it is... It's 15-0. Oh, sorry, 15 love. That's not an ace. Looked like an ace down the tee by Fucsovics, but he's struggling to get these first serves in. Right now, I've got some stats that was telling me that Fucsovics' first serve percentage is down at 58%. He's 15-0 here. He's just double faulted for the first time in the match. Djokovic, by comparison, has got a first serve percentage of 86%. Again, Fucsovics goes long with the first serve. This time makes the second serve in. Djokovic gets it back into court. They're exchanging realize another drop shot out of nowhere by Márton Fucsovics, wins him the point, and the applause of the Philippe Chatrier court. Nice play by the 31-year-old. It's 30-15 in game 4. Djokovic checking out the clay. Of course, there has been some critics about the balls, about the slippery side of the clay. It's been very warm in Roland Garros these last the first 4 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They've had to water the courts a lot, which makes it like mud, some are saying. The balls have been getting a little bit of grief for being like, I think Benoit Paire basically saying that after one game they're useless. It wouldn't be a Grand Slam without people complaining about certain aspects of it, that's for sure. As Fucsovics 40-15 now, he does a wide second serve, but he can only find the net with a +1. Good return by Djokovic, of course, one of the game's all-time great returners, and he's tapping his racket off the top of his shoe. I don't think it's an injury, just maybe a little bit of an annoyance somewhere at either the racket or in the shoe. Fucsovics still got game point though, 40-30. Makes the first serve, returned by Djokovic, cross-court forehand by Fucsovics. Djokovic makes it, backhand this time by Djokovic, forehand by Fucsovics. Backhand this time by Fucsovics, forehand out to the outer court, which is just over the net by the Hungarian, and what a volley by Novak Djokovic. He'd come to the net after pushing the Hungarian back. Fucsovics tried to play his own game, catch him out with a winner cross court, but Djokovic read it, and it is an absolute unbelievable touch to just drop it back over the net on the stretch. Well played, Novak. And first serve percentage at the moment for the Hungarian is still at 53%. Not good. You need to be serving a lot better than that, getting yourself some free points against Novak Djokovic, otherwise he will punish you. This time he gets it in. Great return by Djokovic, and so much so that it's gone long, has it? Looks like Novak left it because it was long. Didn't get called because the scoreboard's reading advantage to Novak. I think it did get called, but he's complaining about something. It might be the state of the court. He's starting to have a mutter about the state of the court. But another break point for Novak to go 4-love in front. First serve in this time. Novak tries to get it with a return winner up the line. It just goes wide. I think he may be struggling with the grip, although he's not doing too badly, of course. Already firmly in control of this first set. But there's something certainly bothering him. And I think the fact that he's winning is keeping that temper at bay. Just we are. Fucsovics with the serve. Again, gets it in. He's starting to serve a little bit better down the line. It looks like it could be a winner. Novak gets it up at the net. Fucsovics comes, volleys away. Another fist pump to his box. He needs this first game as Djokovic continues in discussions with Goran Ivanisevic. You don't usually see Ivanisevic getting very animated, but it looked like he was saying, something about keeping his feet on the ground. There's certainly something going on with the grip, and we might find more out. I'll check out Twitter and see if anybody's saying anything. First serve by Fucsovics, not in court. And well done, Márton Fucsovics. He gets his first game onto the scoreboard. Just trying to have a look here on Twitter to see if there's anything about the what Djokovic is exactly complaining about. Not too sure. Nothing so far. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see if there's anything said as the match progresses. But right now, nothing to say as Djokovic serves at 3-1 up, break up. He broke in the very first service game. Of course, get involved, guys, if you can. It may only just be Jane here. Where are you, Jane? I'm sure you may have told me, but I've got a terrible memory. So let us know where you're watching from. Get involved. Tell us what the weather's like, because it is glorious here in Glasgow, and it's been like the third day in a row we have had blue skies and sunshine, which is a rarity in the west of Scotland. As Djokovic goes long, It's love 15 to Fucsovics, and this would be a great time for him to break back, because you can see that something's bubbling underneath the Djokovic surface, and wonder what it could be. I think it's the grip. I think it's the grip off the court. And okay, I think this is that a prediction, or have we got a time traveller amongst us? So Krishna Murthy has basically just told us the result of this match. Fucsovics actually goes on to win this 6-4, 6-3, 6 love. Well done. If he does, you'd get some odds in that, bageling him. So we'll see. Wait and see what happens. Right now, not really looking too good for that prediction, Krishna. But you know, if it happens, I take my hat over. I don't know if you know something we don't. I don't know if Novak's. It doesn't look like he's injured. It just looks like he's been complaining about the surface and the grip. As 15-0 Djokovic won the last point, but Fucsovics, great slice backhand down the line, caught Novak Djokovic out. He could only clip a return back straight to Fucsovics, and the Hungarian had loads of time to pick his spot, and he just shot a winner into the open court, 15-30. Okay, good, Krishna. I like that. We have a big, a huge Novak fan. Pleased to meet you, and yeah, I hope you know your boy comes through for you. And but you know, as I say, you might be able to hear the commentary. I can't. I don't know if you know what he's complaining about. I know he has, you know, his form's been up and down recently. As I said at the start of the stream, though, you know, Novak, everything is focused on the Grand Slams. He wants to peak at Grand Slams, and with every match, he will get better here in the French Open, in my opinion. As Fucsovics forces 2 break-back points on the Djokovic serve, he will not be happy if he throws away the early break in the 5th game. 3-1 up at the moment. He's bouncing the ball. He's just taking a step back. Composure. Yes, he did. Krishna Runa did beat Djokovic. Djokovic gets the serve in. Good return by Fucsovics. Djokovic, that looked out. Djokovic knows it's out. And he saved the first of the break points. Okay, you might be a little bit ahead of me then, Krishna. Apparently, well, you're well ahead considering your earlier prediction. But apparently, Fucsovics will break serve here. I'm a little bit behind that then. So let's just see what happens. Good serve by Djokovic. Kicker, bouncer. Great. Well played, Djokovic. He served kicker serve, caught Fucsovics out. Block return, and the +1 shot is drilled down the line, and the second break point is saved. It can still happen, Krishna. It could still happen. I am not doubting you, my friend, but it just hasn't happened yet, and I don't think I'm that far behind on the live stream that Eurosport are giving me. Djokovic just serves down the tee. Backhand return by Fucsovics, sliced backhand. The player sharing the sliced backhand. It goes on to the Fucsovics forehand, cross court. Fucsovics down the court, right at Djokovic. Djokovic mishits that one to get it back. Fucsovics just over the net. Djokovic goes long, and again he's complaining about the clay as the Serbian, and Fucsovics has his 3rd break point to reduce the deficit. It all came about. Fucsovics took control after that mishit forehand by Djokovic. And a slice, so you can see I think it's the wind. Okay, so it's the wind. You can see there in the replay, the wind is absolutely causing chaos that end of the court. It's blowing up the clay when the player, when Djokovic is certainly down at that end at the moment, is trying to play his shots. And yeah, I think that's what he's complaining about, is the wind and the conditions, which is causing a little bit of havoc for him as he serves a break point down again, down the tee. I believe that was Still advantage to Fucsovics, game point, break point for the Hungarian. It's tense as Djokovic first serve down the tee again. Fucsovics, think he looked at it to see a mark, saw a mark because he could only find the net. Djokovic saves a third break point, and these are chances that Márton Fucsovics will curse if he doesn't break here. The game's been going on for over 6 minutes already. We're only at just number 3. Djokovic down the tee again. It's an ace. It's an ace clutch serve in there. Fucsovics wants it checked, or he's not happy about something. But no, that one looked in, of course. Djokovic, game point to go 4-1 up and survive a scare. Djokovic serves, Fucsovics return. Djokovic forehand to the side of the court, back by Fucsovics. Djokovic sending him across the court. Djokovic block return high. It's dropped in. Djokovic forced to go back. Sends a looping forehand back. Sliced backhand this time by the Serbian. Forehand by Fucsovics. Down the line, forehand by Djokovic. Forehand again by Djokovic. He's hit the top of the net. He can't win the match. The game. And Fucsovics hanging in there. It's entertaining. It's certainly entertaining. And the Chatre crowd are enjoying this one. Of course, famous big words, victory. As they go to it. Yeah. Djokovic serves, slice, now out. And a slice first serve. Second serve, much like the first, this time it drops in. Great return by Fucsovics, and Djokovic can only go long. He's complaining about something. I think it's the wind. I think the wind is bothering him, especially the serve. He'll be choking to get out of this game. Hopefully get the changeover, get to the other end of the court, because it seems to be, you can see in the replays, the wind is absolutely howling down there, and he doesn't know who to complain about. He looks up to the skies. It's a fourth break point for Márton Fucsovics. Good serve by Djokovic. Good return by Fucsovics. He's now dictating the point, although Djokovic has wrestled it back. And now he's returned. But what a return, but it's just wide by Márton Fucsovics. And Djokovic's box gives him a little bit of encouragement. It's back to juice again. This game now 9 minutes long. Fucsovics, of course, all those mornings and nights spent at the gym will be doing them. The world are good in situations like this. 9-minute games. Of course, the one just before they sit down, and the wind is howling. I think so much so that some of the clay has actually got in Fucsovics' eyes. I've never seen a match suspended because of the wind. I don't think it will happen here, but it's clearly causing distress for both players. Djokovic stands at the baseline down the bottom of the court, and it looks like he's standing in the desert of a Wild West film or something like that. It's quite swirling down there now. Good serve by Djokovic, especially in the conditions. Gets up to the ball, and Fucsovics goes long. Djokovic is a point away. It'll be interesting to see this turnover. It's now Djokovic who looks like he's got some clay in his eye. These are brutal conditions. It's definitely got worse as this first set has wore on. Djokovic now just a game away. Play being disrupted a little bit by these windy conditions, particularly down the Djokovic end. As he serves down the tee, clips the line. Fucsovics gets it back. Djokovic puts it away as a winner. That is 4-1. He'll be relieved to see that one out. Forgets which side of the umpire's chair he's sitting at, but eventually sits down. And the players will take a wee rest after a near 10-minute game there. Djokovic has a word with the umpire. But just to update you a little bit on the scores as they happen. Muti and Rublev again into a fourth set, 3-all in that one. As mentioned before, Lorenzo Musetti, he won the first set 6-1. He won the second set 6-1 as well. What else is going? Muti and Rublev 3-all in the fourth. Griegspor and Hurkacz, it is 3-2 to Griegspor, but that's going with serving that one. Leila Fernandez in the singles, the women's singles. Leila Fernandez, it's 1 all against Clara Towson, and it's into the third and final set. And elsewhere we have Magdalena Frech and Kamila Rakhimova. It's 6-3 to Rakhimova, and she is serving for the match. So yeah, you're caught up to date with all the matches that are currently still being played as the camera at Roland Garros swings to the flagpoles above the Châtelet court, and yeah, they are taking a battering. A little bit about about Fucsovics as he serves 1-4 down now at the windy side, as we'll call it for now, and hoping for it to calm down a little bit. He's actually playing in his 6th Roland Garros main draw and reaching the second round for the 5th time. In the opening round on Sunday, opening day, he defeated French wildcard Hugo Grenier 6-3, 5-7, 6-1, 6-3. And he's actually 0-6 versus top 3 opponents in his career, 0-3 in Grand Slams, and overall 2 versus 225 versus the top 10 opponents. So it's looking like an uphill struggle for him already. 4-1 down, break a serve down. Djokovic love 15, and this tennis match been seriously hampered in quality because of the windy conditions. Of course, Fucsovics was, though, a former world number 1 in the junior ranks, and he actually captured the 2010 Wimbledon boys title as he goes for a drop shot. Djokovic read it, got it with plenty of time, but his effort goes wide. It's 15-all. As mentioned before, Novak Djokovic will be looking to get this one done and dusted as simply and as quickly as possible, with as least time spent on court as possible, because there'll be bigger tests to come if he does see it through this one. No less than Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. And just while the players go through the motions a little bit, good serve there this time actually by Fucsovics, right at the body, and at the moment. Right, there we go. Eventually got it. Wasn't spelling Alejandro correctly. Okay, so 2-1. I knew that Davidovich Fokina had won one of them. It was quite memorable, wasn't it? Yeah, it was in the Monte Carlo last year. That's where it was. I knew that he'd won one of the matches there. So it's 2-1 for Djokovic, and matches up with Davidovich Fokina. And I'm not being disrespectful to Fucsovics. I will look at his head-to-head with the Spaniard later on in the match as he goes 40-30 up in his third service game of the match. He looks to be handling, maybe it's the brick, the muscle. He seems that the wind doesn't seem to be bothering him quite as much as it was Novak Djokovic. Maybe the wind scared him as well, as he lines up a serve, puts it into the net And good second serve. Djokovic gets it back. It looks quite long, but the point goes on this time. Down the line by Fucsovics. Djokovic back. Fucsovics slice backhand. Djokovic in control of the point, and he puts it away with a forehand winner from the inside to out. And lovely stuff. The crowd applaud, and we're at deuce again. And I mentioned that it looked like Fucsovics is handling the conditions a little bit better. Djokovic is still 4-1 up on it, and looking like he might just break again. So just we are. Good first serve, sliced first serve by Fucsovics. Gets it up the court. Djokovic, forehand, cross court, forehand. Oh, he went for it. He went for the winner, but he could only find the net. And Fucsovics has game point again to cut the deficit. As Djokovic again looks like he's picking some clay out of the eyes. I'm sure he'll be asked about this win, lose or draw, about the conditions and how difficult it will be. Fucsovics finds the net with first serve. And a kicker second serve wins him the game. 2-4. Novak to serve. Having a quick look at the stats for the match. At one point, we had Fucsovics with a 53% first serve percentage. He's now up to 65, so improving in that field. Of course, I think most of his service games have gone to deuce at least. First serve points won. He's only won 53% of them at the moment. That's 9 out of 17. And done slightly better on the second serve. But Djokovic, 86% first serve percentage points, really making the difference here, especially when they had those 3 break points. As the rally goes on, another drop by Fucsovics. Djokovic doesn't even try. I don't know if that shows that it's slightly slidey out there. But love 15 again for Márton. He certainly knows how to win points on the Djokovic serve. It's just putting away the big points, It's all well and good getting to love 30 or 15, love 40 or 15-40 or advantage. But, you've got to put those opportunities away. Djokovic saved 4 break points in the last game as he doesn't get his first serve in. Down the tee this time, second serve, great second serve. He's controlling the point. He's up at the net, Djokovic, but he can only find the net with a volley. Again, he looked a little bit, shall we say, Bambi on ice on that clay there. I still maintain, although it has been the wind, I still maintain Djokovic isn't happy with the surface. Just didn't look, just got it all wrong. Also seemed to try the hamstring a little bit as he walked back to the baseline. Love 30. Fucsovics, another glimmer of hope for the Hungarian fans. This time, good serve by Djokovic. Goes straight back at him though. Fucsovics seems to be in control of this rally. Great return by Djokovic, but it goes long, and another 3 break points for Márton Fucsovics. 15. Oh, sorry, no. Love 40. Triple break point. Good serve by Djokovic. He comes at serves and volleys at wrong foot. Fucsovic. He just wanted an easy point there, and he does it. It's 15-40. That's the 5th break point saved. But fair play to Márton Fucsovics. He is putting the pressure on the majority of the service games right now. Djokovic clips the top of the net, goes long, Second serve. This is an opportunity for the Hungarian. Will he take it? Serve slice. Back up the court by Fucsovics. Back up the court. That looks good. But Djokovic, oh, did he make it in? That's some shot if he did. He did. What a return by Novak Djokovic. The crowd, again, show their appreciation. It was a good backhand return right at Djokovic, but another then backhand up the line, and Fucsovics must have thought he was in control of the point. But Djokovic, cross-court, forehand on the run, and it's 30-40. That's 6 break points saved by Novak Djokovic. 4 in the last game, 3 so far in this game. And these are missed opportunities, ones you can't afford to not take against players like Novak Djokovic. First serve, went for an ace, wide, didn't happen. I think he'll go down the tee here. That's the most likely. He'll go down the tee. Down the tee, surely. Come on. He didn't. It was a body serve. Back by Fucsovics, sliced backhand by Fucsovics. It goes deep, still in court though. Again, sliced backhand by Fucsovics. This time, that one looks long, and it's a 7th breakpoint saved by Novak Djokovic. That's 100% of the breakpoints faced so far in this second set. That's 7 across 2 service games. It remains 4-2. They're at deuce, and you just wonder how many more opportunities that Fucsovics will get to get the Serbian under control a little bit. This will be a big hold if he can get to 5-2 here. 3 breakpoints saved. First serve in this time. Fucsovics can only find the very centre of the net. Advantage Djokovic. And he'll be pleased with that. He'll be pleased. He knows when to play his good tennis, his big tennis, when facing breakpoint. Of course, Fucsovics has saved 2 of his own out of the 3 he's faced, but that 1 is the difference maker at the moment as Djokovic lines up game point. Fucsovics looks in control of this one. They're exchanging forehands now just down the middle of the court. Fucsovics looping forehand, sends it long, got it all wrong. The wind definitely did that. A big cry from Novak Djokovic. He knows how important that was after being love 40 down. And he usually plays his best tennis when he's angry and when somebody's bothered him. But you want to see, as soon as he crosses the net to his bench, the wind just attacks him. It seems to be the net is certainly the divider to the swirling wind down there in the Philippe Chatrier court. Some of the stats there so far as we sit at 5-2 to Novak Djokovic. 81% first serve percentage for Novak with 66% first serve points won. 6 serve points won. He's won 57% of them, has the Serbian. And he's won 53% of the first return points won and 40% of the second. He's converted obviously 33%. That's 1 in 3. He's hit 11 winners to Fucsovic's 10. He's hit a pair of he's hit 6 unforced errors. Fucsovics 9, and he's won the most points he's won in a row is 6 compared to Fucsovics 5. That'll be the last 2 game points and the 3 early points in the Djokovic serve. Let's see, just see if there's anything that indicates how many when the rallies go longer than a certain amount. That's always a good stat to see, exactly who would dominate the longer rallies. But anyway, we move on. 2-5, Fucsovic serves. It's been maybe not with tons of quality so far, but purely partly down to the windy conditions. As Fucsovic looks to serve 2-5. Good first serve. Block return by Djokovic. Fucsovic goes down deep into the court and then lovely stuff. A wee volley right into the corner as he talks to himself to, G himself up, give himself a little bit of encouragement. I know we are competing this evening, of course, with the Europa League final, Rome versus Sevilla. Roma, sorry, I should say, versus Sevilla. Jose Mourinho is still 0-0 at the moment in time, so you're not missing anything. At least we've got some score here on the tennis, so stick with us as Fucsovics makes it 30-love with an ace. Actually, that was an ace he's just pulled out. He's first of the match, one each now in the ace count. Another good serve by Fucsovics. He goes for the drop shot again. Djokovic doesn't even try. Who knew? Certainly not I. That Fucsovics was such a dab hand, a delicate touch with the drop shot. Brilliant. 40-love, game point. Of course, Djokovic now down the windy end, as we've been calling it in this match, as Fucsovics hits the top of the net and goes long, so a second serve needed. This time finds the court. Djokovic seems again to be all off with that wind. Tries to go for it. I think he just wants out of that end as quickly as possible. And Fucsovics makes a fist of it. It's 3-5, and Djokovic now serving again. I mentioned, and I don't want to overplay it, but the wind seems to be really taking impact down that end of the court. So we'll just need to wait and see how he gets on here. So he serves for the first set, and let's see how he goes with the wind here. Goes long, first serve. Honestly, somebody who's watched hundreds of Novak Djokovic matches, he's not going to be a happy bunny if he doesn't win this set here. This account is going to... Nobody to blame. Obviously, the conditions are the conditions. It's not the French Open organisers or the umpire's fault. It's the player exchange, forehand to backhand, slice backhand by Djokovic. It doesn't go over the net. He started slowly in each of his service games, apart from the first one where he was 40-love up, and then Fucsovics brought it back to deuce. But every service game, as far as I can remember, and I'll double check that in between these sets if it does finish here. But Fucsovics always the one to make an early breakthrough in the games, and it makes for long, interesting service games for Novak Djokovic as he loads up love 15 down. Ace, what was it? An ace? It was an ace. It is an ace. It's an ace. And so, yeah, fair play. Novak 15-all, 3 points away from the first set. You'll be glad to see the back of this one and hope that as he serves, first serve not in. Second serve and slice serve. Looked like it was going long by Fucsovics, but he's in control as it stayed in. Djokovic hits the top of the net. Fucsovics tries another drop shot. Djokovic read it this time, and he was there. Djokovic was there, but for whatever reason couldn't get it. Did the wind play any part in that? Well played, Márton Fucsovics. Again going for the drop shot, playing Novak a little bit of his own game, trying to move him about the court, tire him out a little bit. Of course, coming into this with a little bit of questions about his fitness, and that one didn't even look like it was going over halfway down the net, didn't even hit the tape. I'm sure if Novak comes through this game, there'll be a big roar to his box. He's not been having it all his own way. 15-30, down the tee, first serve in, and out is the Fucsovics return. 30-all, 2 points. It seems when he's under pressure, he's pulling out these big serves. Of course, Goran Ivanisevic bringing so much to the Djokovic serve over the last few years. So many more 3 points won by Novak when it mattered. The wind, famous last words, I was about to say looks like it's calmed down a little bit, but I don't think Novak would agree. This match, 55 minutes old, 2 points from set one. Novak sliced first serve, gets it in, forehand, Forehand down the line by Djokovic, sliced backhand by Fucsovics, sliced backhand by Djokovic, and again the pair exchange sliced backhands. This time Fucsovics sliced backhand. Fucsovics seems to be in control, it right into the corner. Fucsovics volley, and he wins the point. Brilliant by Márton Fucsovics. Brilliant. Looking a little perplexed is Novak Djokovic, but that was fantastic. That was his point of the match, no doubt, by Márton Fucsovics. He was playing the sliced backhand. He knows it's causing problems when it hits the clay that side of the net. Djokovic barely got that one up with a sliced forehand. A sliced backhand deep into the corner, right on the line. Djokovic can only skip it back. Fucsovics had read it. Lovely volley. And this time he will be hoping he can take the break point. Another break point. I think that's the 8th break point, and certainly the 3rd game in a row. He needs to take them. He's 0-7 so far. As Djokovic, a stumble there during the ball toss. The wind again playing havoc. First serve, and Fucsovics, he'll be kicking himself. It was a kicker serve by Novak, and but he never looked like he was on top of that ball, did Fucsovics, and it went long. We're now at deuce again. Every single service game, Djokovic has been taken to deuce, and there isn't one break point one break of serve to write home about for Márton. Shame. Serve again down the box, the service box. Fucsovics looks to be in control of this one, hitting it well, so he is. But Djokovic always seems to be managing to return it. Famous commentator cursed last words. He just hit it straight into the net while I was saying that. And another 9th break point. This is quite astonishing now, the amount of break points that have been presented to Fucsovics. Of course, the last game, or the game 2 games ago, was 10-minute long on the Djokovic serve. This one now hitting the 6-minute mark. A 9th break point in this set for Márton Fucsovics, as the match approaches the hour mark. Djokovic, second serve, hits the top of the net. Again, we thought he might, with the wind down that end, we thought he might be in trouble here. And obviously Márton Fucsovics hoping to prolong the first set. It's a double fault by Novak Djokovic. He has been broken finally, and Márton Fucsovics has closed the gap, and we're back with serve. Unfortunately for him, he is down at, as we're calling it, the windy end. But he has stopped Novak from winning that first set. Djokovic will be disappointed with that, but the conditions are playing their part as they sit down. Djokovic covers his eyes. He, of course, is sitting down at what we're calling the windy end. But fair play, Márton Fucsovics. He kept plugging away, always trying to break serve, and eventually finally done it. One of our first serve. One of our first set here at the French Open for the night session. Of course, we will be here until the last ball drops in this one, and there is the last ball drops coming up shortly after. What matches are still on court? I hear you ask. Well, I will tell you. Give me 1 second as the players are back out to the baselines. Fucsovics, he's worked so hard to get the break of serve. Can't throw it away here now by serving a dodgy game, although he is at the windy end, and it has been impacting the players. First serve in though. Djokovic back up the court. Djokovic looks in control at this point. Fucsovics scoops it back. Djokovic cross-court forehand. Again, scooped back by Fucsovics. He's staying in the rally just over the net though, and he bemuses. He catches Djokovic out because he hit a mishitted forehand that only just got over the net, and Djokovic could only find the net in response, and it is 15 love yeah, he was never on top of that one either. Not playing well. Let's be honest. Novak Djokovic isn't playing, his classic game. It is not vintage Novak. I've got to be saying it. I'm sure somebody will disagree with me, but as Fucsovics serves out wide, puts away the winner. We've seen that a couple of times already. He loves that play, and it's there to love. Musetti won his match 6-1, 6-1, 6-2. Rublev, extinguished the Corrigan Muté fight back, and another Frenchman bites the dust. Rublev winning that one 6-4, 6-2, 3-6, 6-3. And Hubi Hurkacz has turned it around. He was 2-1 down. He won the 4-set breaker, and he's now serving for the match at 5-4. Fucsovics there to love up. The players exchanging cross-court forehands, another slice backhand this time by Fucsovics, and Djokovic goes long. He hasn't been able to read the Fucsovics slice backhand all match. Fucsovics just needs to keep on doing that. He's not been able to read it, and it could be the conditions, it could be the clay that the Novak doesn't seem as if he's happy about. But the momentum certainly with Márton Fucsovics, and you wouldn't put him past it. You wouldn't put it past him, should I say? Sneaking a break of serve here off Novak, although he is in the dodgy end. Tried a drop shot. Djokovic was reading it, but what happened there is he tried a drop shot, got it all wrong. He tried a forehand slice drop shot, got it all wrong. Put the ball long. Djokovic started coming in, and because Fucsovics had mishit it, Djokovic could only find the net back, and he gets the game where it's 5-0. As the sun sets on the Philippe Chatrier and the French Open Day 4. It's been another eventful one. As mentioned, lots of tennis played. Carlos Alcaraz winning in 4, Batista Agut going out in 5, Shapovalov winning in 5. Schwartzman, he's had a horrid season, but he's managed to beat Nuno Borges. Kokkinakis, as I mentioned, sticking out ex-champ Wawrinka. Sonego beating Ugo Humbert. Korda going out to Sebastian Offner, and Fognini, everyone's favourite, Fabio Fognini, still in the tournament, beating Kubler in straight sets. As we Karen Khachanov, forgot to mention him, fairly simple match for him, 6-3, 6-4, 6-2. Hurkacz currently 2 points away from the match. But here, we're back onto the tennis. Djokovic 15 love up. We're at 5-0, and he's just went long. He's certainly not a happy chappy. Of course, Cameron Norrie winning as well, as I mentioned, and Davidovich, Fokina. I think I'm just going to try and count how many Frenchmen went out today, as the French scream in my face and tell me to shut up. But I think at least 4, maybe 5. Don't worry, not many Brits made it through to the main draw. So what can I say? Is Djokovic 15-0, strong serve down the tee, block returned by Fucsovics. Djokovic puts it away. Great forehand cross court, great angle, 30-15. And it seems to be a matter of if you're at the top of the court, you've got more chance of winning your game, as proven by Djokovic failing to serve out the first set. So if the Frenchman that went out, Muté went out, Puyol went out. Fucsovics finds the net from another strong down the tee serve. He's liking that down the tee serve. Who else? Ugo Humbert went out. I'm sure there was more than that. Oh, Van Asch, he went out as well. So 4 Frenchmen. Fortunately, it's not looking like there will be a French winner unless Monfils does the impossible. 40-30, Djokovic just found the net with a bouncing, looping return from Fucsovics. But he's still got game point to take a 6-5 lead as this marathon first set continues. We're over an hour now at the moment. Another wind-affected ball toss by Novak Djokovic. Down the tee again by the Serbian. This time Fucsovics reads it. Looks like he's gone long. Djokovic thought it was long. He's hit a questionable, shall we say, forehand. And he's juicing his serve again. And he's not playing great. He is not playing great tennis tonight. Hurkacz has won. Hubi Hurkacz is through to round 3. He has beaten Greg Spohr and another 5-setter, of course. You would have seen on social media yesterday, 20 Grand Slam first round matches going to a 5th set. It's an Open era record. And it looks like the second round is going a similar way, as Djokovic has game point. Poor return from Fucsovics. It goes long, and game point again for Novak Djokovic. Oh, hello, Max. How are we doing? Sorry, I've just missed your hello. But as Djokovic wins the 11th game of the match, and a lot of animation there from Novak arguing with his box, it looks like, and I think maybe telling them to speak up a little bit louder. He pointed to his ear as he looked at them, as we've seen so many times in the past. Certainly, he's still conversing with them. Even Istovic doesn't look happy. He's whispering something in Croatian, which I'm sure won't be pleasant. He's basically, Djokovic is complaining that he can't hear, or he needs to be able to hear them better, something like that. This is like playing catchphrase or charades. But hello, Max. Anyway, let's do it. Max, good to see you. Good to hear from you. It's been a quiet one tonight, as there's not been many people on communicating. Krishna had apparently seen this before and predicted that it was going to be a straight set Fucsovics win, as shown here. That one doesn't seem to look like it's going to come to pass, unfortunately, for Krishna. We'll just see if Fucsovics can take it into a first set tiebreak. A first set that has been interrupted, of course, by windy conditions. And for those watching on the telly, if you do have a telly, that is at the side that Djokovic is on at the moment, the side nearest the camera as you look at a tennis court on the television. That seems to be the one that has been most impacted by the wind, and the one that both players dropped serve while they were at, as the players resume game 12. A very, very impressive win for Lorenzo Musetti, and it kind of shows as the players exchange drop shots right to the net. Djokovic read it, love 15. He's pumped now. Novak Djokovic is pumped now. I've mentioned before, the guy plays a lot better when he's angry. Fucsovics tried a drop shot to bring him to the net. Djokovic this time, I read it, got there in time, redirected his return. Fucsovics tried the same thing, but Djokovic was all over it, and an easy volley into an open court. He looks pumped. He looks up for this now, and that could prove pretty ominous for the Hungarian. We'll concentrate on this, maybe speak about Musetti whatever happens in this game, as the players love 15. Djokovic now looks to be moving better, as Fucsovics drills one right at him. Slice backhand by Djokovic. Again, another slice backhand by Djokovic. Forehand down the line by Fucsovics. Forehand cross court by Fucsovics. Well played, Márton Fucsovics. This time, Djokovic could only scoop it onto the net. The Hungarians hanging in there, and just when you think that Novak will be, looking like he's in the mood, Fucsovics snuffs out any momentum. Fair play to the 31-year-old. Yeah, it'll be interesting. A long first set, as I mentioned a couple of times. A couple of stops because of the strong winds. As Fucsovics loads up. Looks like it's out. Is it out? Oh, it wasn't out. So just to say there, update you, Fucsovics serve looked very close, but Djokovic got the return. It clipped the net and dropped dead on the Fucsovics side. An apology from Novak, and then looks up to the heavens to say thank you to whatever god he worships. But yeah, didn't mean it. Held his hands up. No foul. And Djokovic looks up to the heavens and claps his heart at the same time. He's 15-30. He's got a chance here. And is another strong Fucsovics serve again. Fucsovics pulling out the decent strokes when it matters. A strong first serve. I don't think Djokovic agrees that one was in. Questionable, and I don't think if it had landed on the Fucsovics net, I don't think he would have let it go. But, he benefited, so he didn't say anything. But this time he was unable to return Fucsovics' wide serve. And he doesn't seem happy as Fucsovics gets the first serve in, this time down the body. They're exchanging ones. Djokovic looping forehand. Fucsovics, he'll be disappointed with that. The pressure's on. He's just hit the net. Djokovic has a break and set point. And, you've seen this story a million times before. Tight first set. And, it could be from here. Curtains for the big man. Back to the gym for Fucsovics. Fucsovics serves. Djokovic back in just over the net. Fucsovics puts it away. Back to Juice. Fucsovics win the point. Djokovic slow to get that one there. Forehand. Backhand slice. Up the line. Fucsovics down the middle of the court. Again, Djokovic misreads that one completely. And I think he put it wide. He's not happy with it though. But he's really struggling down that end of the court. Really struggling. I think he's now accepted it after walking to the net to check the mark. Fucsovics has a tie-break point to take us to 6 all. Drop shot attempt by Fucsovics, and he goes to the net. He doesn't take the game point, and we're back to Juice. Served by Fucsovics at Juice. Down to the body. He gets the. It looks like that one looks long. It's not though. They're still playing Djokovic forehand. Fucsovics forehand. Djokovic forehand up the line. Scoop forehand. That one that he's played a million times before. Slice backhand by Fucsovics. And again, I said it 10 minutes ago. Novak Djokovic is struggling to control, to handle, whatever you want to call it, the Fucsovics slice backhand. Whenever that slice backhand gets pulled out, especially with Djokovic down that windy end of the court, Djokovic has no answers. And Fucsovics knows that, and that's why he keeps going to that shot. And again, he got it. Djokovic got it, tried a sliced forehand, but it was miles long. And another game point for Márton Fucsovics to take us to a tiebreak. Good rally, this one. Good ground strokes by both. Djokovic clips the net, and he's going to win the point again. And it's the second one in this game where he's won the point by clipping the net, and it just trickling over again. He offers an apology to his opponent. And you know what? I bet you inside he's chuffed with that, though. And yeah, you know, nothing he can do. It's going to happen in these games where these professional players are getting it over the net by millimetres. It was a sliced backhand. It clipped the net, dropped dead. Fucsovics tried, failed. We're back to deuce in a game that's over 7 minutes long. Again, been a long first set. Second serve now this time. This time, slice second serve. Djokovic on top of the return. Looks like he's in control of the rally, but they're swapping forehands cross court. Back and forth we go. Djokovic this time up the line, as he always does. This time down the line. Djokovic gets it all wrong, but he's still in the rally. Fucsovics back across court. Djokovic up the line with a forehand. Fucsovics cross court forehand. Djokovic backhand. Fucsovics forehand. Djokovic waiting for the Fucsovics mistake. Backhand slice of the go-to shot. And again, he looks like it's pulled off. He's done it again. As soon as he's getting into trouble on the rally, Fucsovics is playing the sliced backhand, and he's getting it. Djokovic can't understand what is going on. Fucsovics, as soon as he gets that at the ad court, he sliced backhands it down the line, and that's now 3 times in this game. Djokovic just can't get control of that ball. Yes, Max, it has been, especially down the end. If you're watching it, Djokovic is at the moment. It's looked like a bit of a western at points with the players standing there and the ash, the sand going right before their eyes. It's not game point 1. Second serve, although Djokovic had found the net. Game point for Fucsovic. Second serve, and Djokovic goes long. He's taken into a tie break. Yes, Max, there is hope that Fucsovics continues to make a match of this. I feel that this tie break is pretty vital for the match and the direction of where it might go. Fucsovics can sneak it, you know. I think. I mean, you know, I'm not going to be the one that says Djokovic will feel the pressure. How many times have we seen Djokovic down a set or down 2 sets or a break, and he just keeps on going? But I just feel that if Djokovic wins this one, he might have fairly comfortable to set 2 and 3. Again, as I said before, could be proved wrong, just my opinion. But Fucsovic should put so much into this set. We're now an hour and 18 minutes into this set. It may just, come undone. But we'll see. As I say, Djokovic starts the tie break. And he just puts down a backhand winner. Fucsovic not sure if it went in. He's going to go and check the mark. I think he's conceded that it was in, as he removes the mark with his left trainer, sneaker, gutty, as we call it here in Scotland. Okay. One love, Novak. Don't know if he was speaking to his box or Fucsovic there. Of course, Fucsovic having a clash with Baez and Norrie recently on the court. He's tried the backhand slice. Djokovic read it. He's looking in the mood again, similar to he did early on in the match. Djokovic gets the mini break. Fucsovic didn't really. It was lackluster. It's probably the best word. It was a terrible drop shot attempt. Novak had all the time in the world just to pick his spot, and he did so. And it is loved too. Currently, a graphic showing us on the watch along that total match points. There's been 100 points in the match so far. Novak's won 50. Fucsovic has won 50. So a very even match. But Djokovic just with the edge at the moment as he gets his return and he's looking in the mid. As I say, he looks like he's now under control. How many times have we seen it? Is that in? Is that in? That looks out. That's out. Djokovic with the additional mini break. It's 3-love. The Fucsovic box telling him just to stay with the moment. Max, clearly a Fucsovics fan, or maybe just not a Djokovic fan. Krishna is a bit of a Nole fan, as he mentioned earlier on in the chat. Djokovic now firmly in control of this tiebreak, 3-love up. Second serve, Djokovic down the line. Fucsovics down the line with a backhand. That's caught the line, has it? It has. Djokovic smiles. What a return there by Márton Fucsovics. If he's picked that spot, you couldn't have gone down there and placed it any better. Down the line backhand. Off. I'd love to see the Hawkeye. That must have been close. 1-3 or 3-1 now with Novak with the ball in hand. Djokovic first serve. He's trying to go down the other end of the court. He's left it because Fucsovics has gone long. And it's 4-1 to Novak. As the guys towel off. He's put a lot into it, Márton Fucsovics, in this first set. Of course, we're at the 1 hour 20-minute mark. It's a lot of tennis to be played. But Djokovic certainly now looking like he will take the first set. Fucsovics serving 1-4. First serve isn't in. Fucsovics volley. Djokovic read it. It's went over his head. It's in the court. Fucsovics gets to the ball, retrieves it. No tweener this time. Djokovic now goes. No, he's not gone long. He's still in it. Backhand, slice backhand this time by Djokovic. Another slice backhand by Fucsovics. And has it gone long again? It's still in court. The players are still playing. This rally's not ending. As backhand to forehand now. Forehand down the court. Still in court. Fucsovics, both players playing brilliant here. Great point by both. Slice backhand by Djokovic up the court. Forehand down the line by Fucsovics. Stretch, Djokovic gets it, and Fucsovics wins it, much to the crowd. They're all on their feet now. Good point. Great point by both players, let's be honest. But those are the points that the guys inside the stadium love to watch. Both players battering the ball. Still, Djokovic with the lead, but that'll maybe make him think. 2-4. Fucsovics with the ball in hand, and fair play to him. Played some great ground strokes. Djokovic must have thought he'd won that rally there, but it was when he was stretching and Fucsovics came in at the net. Well read. You just hope if he does go on to lose this first set that he has not completely tired himself out. We are going to be joined for the second set by Isabel. She is just waiting to come, so we'll finish this first set and then you can hear some other chatter other than my boring Scottish accent. We will see where the second and third set take us, or maybe even a fourth and a fifth. We could be here a very long time. Fucsovics now 2-4. That was the last rally was the longest rally of the match with 33 strikes of the ball between the players. Okay, so nice one. Fucsovics, the ball's landed in. Why has he left that one? Is he going to hit the ball? He has hit the ball, but he's went long. Poor decision making by the Hungarian. He looked like he had Djokovic on the ropes there. Good forehand deep into the court. Djokovic put the ball high. Fucsovics had all the time in the world to put a smash in. Maybe the lights of the stadium affected him, maybe they didn't. He let it drop and he put the follow-up long. Djokovic 2 points from the first set, and the ball is in his hand for the next two. Oh, is this time Fucsovics? He's got away with the net cord. No, he hasn't. Djokovic makes it. Djokovic, then puts it into the open court. That's a shame for Fucsovics. Djokovic now got the swagger back. He's got 4 set points. He'll be glad to see the back of this first set. Fucsovics has pushed him hard. Of course, Djokovic serving for the first set at 5-4. Fucsovics broke, but he now has 4 set points. Djokovic now second serve. Oh no, sorry, first serve. He's played it into the net. Still with the 4 set points, 6-2. It's been a poor tiebreak from Fucsovics in honesty, and he sums it up there with a poor return on the second serve. He puts it wide. Djokovic comes through a tight first set where he already served for it at 5-4. Fucsovics has pushed him all the way. We will be back in just 90 seconds. We will be joined by Isabel. But yeah, this is just what's still to come on Talking Tennis this evening.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
That was the wrong promo, but still got the last ball drops. But welcome, Isabel. Isabel, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I hear a little birdie tells me you are in California.
Yes, right? that is where I live.
So what time is it there in sunny California?
It's just 1:00 now.
Wow. Okay. So well behind me. I'm at 9 p.m.
Okay.
So yeah, have you been watching much of the first set there?
I didn't get to see much of it. I had some things to do, but I saw the first few games and I walked away when it was, I think, 4-1.
Yeah.
And then I came back and they were at a tiebreak.
Yeah. It's been I think it's been a frustrating first set for both. That I think the windy conditions, as far as I can tell, certainly down the nearest to the camera, the end has been impacting the weather, and that's where both players lost their serve during that match. Fucsovics, of course, had 9 break points. It took him before he eventually broke the Djokovic serve. And as mentioned in the stream earlier on, Isabel, I thought that it was very important, that first set, and I've seen this rodeo before. Where Djokovic potentially now would go on to have a fairly comfortable set 2 and 3. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. It is, I don't know that, maybe concerning is the wrong word, but it is a little surprising to see Djokovic not completely dominate in the first set. But now that he's won it, I fully expect it to just go in straights.
Yeah, I mean he's been bothered certainly. I mean I haven't had any commentary on it, and I don't know if you saw when you were watching it at 4-1. He was complaining about something. I think a lot of the red ash was affecting both players in terms of getting in the eyes.
I've heard a lot of players complaining about that the last few weeks.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, I think some have been mentioning that there's a mud feel to the thing because it's so dry. The courts are getting watered, so it makes it slippy. As Djokovic just wins a pretty amazing point. By all accounts, it looked like Fucsovics had won the point as both players rushed to the net. But Djokovic, as always, Mr. Stretch, manages to get the ball back. What's your thoughts been then, Isabel, on the proceedings so far? How much have you managed to catch in the first 4 days of the French Open?
Not a whole lot. Mostly just the night matches because they're on in the afternoons here. But all of the morning matches I haven't been able to see because it's like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it must be difficult.
It's really annoying.
And what's the time difference for like the Australian then? Because obviously it'll be similar to Wimbledon.
I think it's like 19 hours or something. I think they usually start at midnight. So I can I don't have a full-time job, so I can stay up a little bit, but like once it gets past 3 a.m. I can't do it. No, Wimbledon is the easiest one international Grand Slam for me to watch. So I haven't been able to see many of the morning matches, but I did get to catch the Baez and Monfils match yesterday.
Yes,
which was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I wouldn't be surprised if that is like the match of the tournament. I know it's early, but
Well, Tim Henman, I was saying to the guys earlier on, Tim Henman had said it was I'm just getting distracted by producer John saying that Isabel speaks Scottish, so you're good, Tom. Just got a little distracted there, but I said earlier on that Tim Henman had commented in the pre-match to this that the Monfils match last night was probably one of the best first round matches at a Grand Slam he'd ever seen. And I just think, with the whole context of it, certainly in that fifth set at 4-love down, the Frenchman, of course, cramping for a lot of it. I just thought, it was some turnaround. I couldn't actually believe it. I was kind of only half watching it when I went to 4-love. I was like, all right, okay, I started doing other things. And then obviously when he started mounting a comeback, I was tuned back in. So, that was pretty epic. Epic. Did you hear the stat that there's been in the first round matches, the first 3 days, certainly the men's 64 matches, there's been 25 setters, which is an Open era record.
Oh my God. No, I didn't hear that stat.
I think the conditions, maybe partly are to blame for that, or to play its part. Maybe blame is the wrong word. Because I think, the slower conditions mean for longer rallies, tighter matches, very little between the players, as proven by that first set there. Of an hour and 20 minutes, I think it was. The first set as Djokovic breaks Fucsovics early in the second set, and it was, as myself and Isabel spoke about, there is an ominous feeling to it now. Although saying that, Djokovic did break early in the first, and it took Fucsovics a while just to kind of get to grips with the conditions. So you never know. But as mentioned before, I've seen this movie before. So tell me about your tennis relationship then, Isabel. What's been happening?
I like to consider myself a tennis humorist.
Right. Okay.
Or a tennis comedian.
Good.
But I do. Jokes all aside, I do love the sport. I don't play very well, but I love watching. I'm quite obsessed. Much like everyone else who works, in talking tennis. We're all a little crazy about it.
Yeah, I like that because there's so many other sports, especially here on the west of Scotland. So obviously football, as I would call it, soccer, as you would call it, massive here. 9 times out of 10, somebody's a big football fan, but tennis for myself. So
Yeah.
and so I'm definitely in a minority.
Yeah, I did enjoy when I was living in the UK last year. I did enjoy how much tennis was like available.
Right.
And,
Oh well,
how
Amazon
many
Prime.
Yeah, how accessible it is, and how many people actually really enjoy it in Europe.
And
in
is that not the
general.
same in the States? Is it like,
Oh,
Tennis
no.
Channel? What's the Tennis
Well,
TV?
they have the tennis channel, but you have to pay for it, and it's quite a steep fee. And if you have cable, which I do, and you have Tennis Channel as a part of it, you can still watch Tennis Channel, but you don't get to like pick between matches. So you just have to watch whatever it is that they're showing on their main feed.
Right. Okay.
And the other problem is, especially mostly just with the Grand Slams, they split the streaming rights across a bunch of different like
confusing
companies. So like the Tennis Channel gets, for the French Open especially, they get like the first week, and then it switches to like NBC, and then it switches to NBC's online streaming platform, and it's all weird, and you have to pay for all of it individually, and it's absolutely impossible to make sense of.
Right.
And
okay.
Wimbledon isn't much better. I think that's all on ESPN, but they like gatekeep some of the matches. So like, you can watch it because ESPN is like free, but if you want to watch these other matches that aren't Americans playing, then you have to pay like an extra fee to do that. Because that's the other thing. They'll really only show Americans playing. Like if you want to watch an American, you can totally do that. But anybody else, you have to pay.
Right.
So they complain that like, not enough Americans are interested in tennis. And it's like, I can't imagine why.
It's the chicken and egg thing, though, isn't it? How do you get people interested in it if they can't watch it? Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just on the match, we've been focusing on Djokovic now. Just secured, playing a lot better, looks a lot freer in his movement and his swing. Your dogs are going mental.
Apologies.
So Ghost, old friend Ghost is in the chat. I don't know
he's a big fan of mine.
Is he? Right, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right, okay, good. And you'll need to elaborate what you mean by that. Or not?
He just likes to make fun of me quite a bit on.
It's all right. He's done that since the moment I came onto these streams.
Yeah.
He's done it to myself as well. So, but he's lucky I'm quite thick-skinned, so don't worry about it. Yeah, but in the UK, I mean, obviously Amazon Prime have had the contract, I think, for about 4 years now. They're great. Like you say, you can pick what tournament you're wanting to watch. You can pick like what court of that tournament you're going to watch, and they pretty much show everything. And then, but I think the contract is then going on to Sky Sports over here, and there is fear that it might not be as accessible to the way that Amazon did it. I think Amazon did a really good job.
Yeah,
it'd be a pity, I think, if maybe they just haven't had, obviously the subscription base based on people watching tennis. Maybe that's why they've thought, right, we're not going to renew the rights, which would be a shame. But yeah, so Amazon have done a really good job. I think it's coming to an end at the tail end of this year. Of course, the US Open is going to be on Sky Sports this year in the UK. So yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame because it was certainly, it helped me kind of grow my engagement with the sport. As Djokovic has been mentioned, looks to be in a bit of a role at the moment. The sliced backhand by Fucsovics doesn't seem to be making the impact that it used to. Djokovic reading it a lot better. Although Fucsovics gets a winner that time, and Djokovic seems a little frustrated.
Yeah.
If only I can. Sorry, go on.
What do you think his chances in the tournament are? Because I've been hearing a lot of mixed things about Djokovic.
Okay. I mean, I obviously he's had a mixed clay court season. Went out to Holgaruna and Rome, didn't play Madrid. So he's not like usually comes away from the European swing with a title or two. Hasn't on this occasion. But as I mentioned to the guys a little earlier, My opinion is that Djokovic basically doesn't really care. Obviously, those are warm-up events. Everything is peaked towards, the Grand Slams. He's played here for so long. This is his 18th consecutive second round match at Roland Garros, which is a feat unto itself. And with no Nadal for the first time when he's been playing this event, there's no Nadal to basically potentially, I have to beat that guy at some point if I want to win this. I think he'll be spurred on, and when he has a goal, it's pretty inevitable. So I think his chances are big. Medvedev, I'd actually picked Medvedev before the event.
I did too.
That's left me looking a little foolish. Although he is looking a little angrier now, or is he pumped? I don't know. He's shouting at his box at the moment. He's having a discussion with Ivanisevic. I think the Medvedev exit, Alcaraz, getting beat a couple of weeks ago early in Rome, or with similar conditions to the French Open Rome does. I think he's in a better place than he was, say, 10 days ago. And the draw is looking, if it's half decent. If he wins this one, he'll have a tough game against Davidovich Fokina. I think his chances are improving with every match. That's the diplomatic way of saying I think he might win it without saying I think he could win it.
Yeah, we're not going to see a Djokovic Alcaraz final, right? They're in the same half of the draw. Semi-final.
Yeah. If they both do it, as Djokovic goes 3-love up, so it's a double break now in the second set. He's definitely, the conditions seem to have calmed down as the sun is set. As he pulls out a new racket, he can't face Alcaraz. Of course, Alcaraz winning in 4 today, so it'll be them potentially as a semi-final, with Djokovic being the 3rd seed and Alcaraz being seed number 1, and obviously number 2 seed is now away. What is Ghost saying about you? Will we pull his comment up? King Fu films.
I think he means Kung Fu films. Desperately needs an older brother with a deep knowledge of Kung Fu films to guide her in the ways of the world. That's oddly specific.
Are you a Kung Fu fan? A Kung Fu film fan? God, that's a tongue twister.
No, I'm not. I can't say I've ever watched a Kung Fu movie.
You'll need to tell us more then, Ghost.
I should probably, just the feminist in me should probably say I don't need any kind of man in my life with to show me the ways of the world. I'm good. No, I get you. Ghost, sometimes I Ghost referenced over my head as well, so I wouldn't worry about it. As Djokovic pulls up to serve to go 4-love, and it does look like the first set has taken a lot out of Márton Fucsovics. I'll try and see if I can find some of the stats so far in the second set. So what are you watching? What channel then are you watching the match currently on then, Isabel? Right now I've got Tennis Channel open.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm slave to whatever they have on their main feed. Last night I guess very early this morning, I was hoping to see the Sebastian Korda match because I thought, well, he's an American, they'll be showing it, and they wouldn't. They were not. They refused. Like
Jesus.
They played this long, fan interview thing of like people at the main desk. No other match was going on. It was just the Korda match, and they would not show it. And I was just like, I'm so frustrated.
That's bizarre. That is bizarre.
Yeah, it doesn't make I can't make any sense of it.
Well, I have for this event, so we've got Eurosport, who are, I think, the main for Europe. They're the main kind of license holder for the tournament. And then they have connected with Discovery Plus. And then that's just an app on my phone, and that's similar to Amazon, to be fair, although there's not a lot of commentary, but basically you can just pick and choose whatever match you're on. So at one point I was teaching myself how to watch two tennis matches at one time. So I was watching the Davidovich Fokina and Van Asch and the Mute Rublev match at the same time, but I was getting confused as to the narrative of the match. Like they were talking about an underarm, like Mute played an underarm serve ace. But I'd kind of later on thought, that was some ace by Van Asch, because like you get confused about what when you're watching, because you're trying to watch both at the same time. So you get forgetting the narrative or whatever match you're watching. Anyway, I'd ramble. So we're still at we're at 30-all on the Djokovic serve, 3-love up in the second, of course, taking the first set 7-6. Just trying to find some stats to throw your way, Isabel, for the set. See what you think about it as Fucsovics goes into the net with his return. Djokovic game point of 40-30. So, yeah, some of the stats for the match. I mentioned a few times that the Fucsovics serve, it did improve as the set wore on. He was down at 53% first set, but at 63%. I'd say, I don't know if you would agree, Isabel, that you need to have at least 70 when you're playing the big guys like Djokovic to try and win some free points.
Sure, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. And he hit 20 winners, though, Fucsovics, to be fair. He's hit more winners as the dogs go crazy again. And so, yeah, Fucsovics has won 20 winners compared to Djokovic's 18 in the match. Djokovic goes 4-love in front. And this set is looking pretty much like a done deal already. So, obviously, this has been the last game in Paris, or the last match in Paris tonight. It must be a pain then, because for the rest of the day as a tennis fan, you can't watch anything.
Not really. I mean, sometimes I'll catch the replays, but it's no fun once the matches. I already know who won.
Yeah. Do you ever try and not see the scores, and then you can basically watch it?
I tried that last year. I had to work on the day of the final for the Djokovic versus Tsitsipas. I believe that was the final last year, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, last year's final was Nadal Ruud in France.
Was
it?
Talking about
France?
Yeah.
But the year before,
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Yeah.
For Djokovic and Tsitsipas, I had to work that day. So I told my parents to record the match. I got up early to go to work, turned my phone off. I was not gonna look at my phone for 8 hours. Did my whole shift, drove immediately to my parents' house, and I walked in, and my parents were like, all right, we're ready, because they went dark too. They didn't know who won.
Yeah.
And we turned on the TV, and the first thing that was there was like a newsreel of like who had won, and I was like, but I waited all day.
I've got a similar story about boxing. So I don't know if you remember. Do you like boxing at all?
I don't know anything about it.
Okay, right. Well, years ago, Floyd Mayweather, big fighter, was fighting Manny Pacquiao. Big, massive fight. The fight that they probably fought a little bit too late in their careers, but it was a big, massive fight. Two best fighters at that weight division finally meeting. So it's in Vegas, and that for us is 5, 6 in the morning when a fight's at Vegas. So it's on a Saturday night. Me and all my pals have a fight, but before me and pals have a party and then watch it. But before the fight starts at like 6 o'clock in the morning, we're all just watching stuff like the build up to it, and somebody had paused the build up. Like at some point on the telly, like on the live stream we're watching, somebody had paused it, because you can obviously pause live TV these days. And then they were chatting, and then about somebody's pressed play about 45 minutes later, but we've not thought about it. So we're all watching the fight as if we're watching it live when it eventually comes on. And then one of my mates has looked at Twitter and said, how come I know that Floyd Mayweather wins this fight if we are watching it live? And we were like, no idea. And then we're like, oh my God, we're watching like 45 minutes behind the whole world. There's about 15 years in this living room, pure drinking, thinking we're watching it. And we were actually watching it about an hour behind everyone else, and the whole world knew about it. So, nightmare. As
That's such a shame.
We can transgress on this stream often. Have you done many streams before, Isabel?
Yeah, I've been doing this since the US Open last year.
Amazing.
Yeah.
some good matches in that. Sinner, Alcaraz,
Wow.
that was a
yeah. I mean, so many of the Alcaraz matches were amazing. Sinner Alcaraz, Tiafoe Alcaraz, like
yeah.
Oh my god. I'm excited for this year. I'm actually going to try and be there.
Wow.
This year.
You can be the live on the ground reporter for Talking Tennis.
Yeah, I'll do my best. Yeah. I've always wanted to go.
I actually think, I saw certainly for the UK that I saw an advert on Instagram or something today about, get your US Open tickets now or something. So I don't know if they've just went on sale or what, but certainly saw an advert for that today.
I think Friday they go
on
sale.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I'm probably not going to be able to get stadium tickets, but I'll get a grounds pass.
Yeah.
I've got a friend who lives in Queens, so I can stay there for free. It'll be nice. It's unfortunate though, because the tournaments in the US, the grounds passes are like really expensive compared to like Wimbledon.
Right. Okay.
I went to Indian Wells this year, and the grounds pass was like twice as much. And I was like, this isn't even a Grand Slam. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. And what's it like Indian Wells? That's the one on one of the ones on the bucket list for myself, certainly.
Yeah. It was really
tennis
fun.
Paradise.
Yeah, it was lovely. I went.
It's not far from you.
It's about an hour and a half from me, and I've never gone. I've always wanted to, and this year it just worked out. I went with. Do you know Jack from Jack Edward from Tennis Twitter? Yeah. He was in California at the same time, so we met up at Indian Wells, which was a lot of fun. It's really pretty. It's like such a cool tournament area. And you do, the grounds pass does get you into like most, I think everything except like one stadium.
Right.
So we did get to see a lot of good matches. We saw Holger Rune versus Stan Wawrinka. Got to see Felix Auger-Aliassime play, which was great for me.
Yeah.
It's a really lovely tournament. It's really hot. I got
I can imagine.
Horrific sunburn. Yeah. Even though I wore sunscreen, I had to go to the hospital. It was such a bad sunburn.
Wow.
So it's and I think it's because I had just gotten back from the UK and had spent 8 months there and had not seen the sun in a while.
Right. Okay.
So be aware of that if you ever
go.
Well,
I was telling this story as Djokovic has another break point to go 5-love up. He could be serving for a bagel. I'll just talk through this one very quickly. Djokovic, forehand up the line. Another forehand up the line. Slice backhand return by Fucsovics, but Djokovic seems to have his eye in now. He's going to go up the line with that. Has he made it? Yes, he has. Another break of serve. Third in a row, 5-love. It's a pretty comprehensive. And as we predicted, Isabel, looks like the fight has gone out of the Hungarian Márton Fucsovics. I told this story this time last year, I was on a reporting tour in the States. I went to Washington, D.C. I went to Minneapolis, Minnesota, or is it Minnesota, Minneapolis? And then that way,
The first
one.
Oh,
is it right? The first one,
yes.
Right, okay. And then I went to Phoenix, Arizona. And that was my third stop on this 10-day reporting tour. And on the way from Minnesota to Phoenix, I basically met this other American guy in the airport bar. He pure loved the fact that I was from Scotland. He kept buying me tequila shots. So basically I was getting drunk with this guy, landed in Phoenix, Arizona, hungover because I couldn't sleep in the plane, and basically because it was walking into an absolute sweltering oven, I was pure struggling, because they kept telling me it's a dry heat in Phoenix, so you need to stay super hydrated. Yeah. And I was walking about, trying to walk with my bag to my hotel, pure, oh my God, this is the worst I've ever felt in my life. So anyway, that was my memories of Phoenix, Arizona. But I did go to a baseball game inside a stadium.
What do you think of baseball?
I don't really understand it, if I'm being honest. So
I don't either.
I didn't really get it. So, but I was like, yay, I'm here. So it was, it was an experience. But yes, so Djokovic is basically going for 6-love in the second set, a much quicker second set compared to the first. I'm just going to see if we've got timings anywhere. As Fucsovics wins the first point with a cross-court forehand. So the first set was 1 hour and 29 minutes. The second set so far has been 29 minutes. So it just shows the difference. What about you? Who I know you said Medvedev was your pick on the men's side. What's your thoughts now that he's out?
I did a whole bracket for this tournament, and it's just completely fallen apart. Like, everyone I've picked has just lost.
Wait, are you telling me that Caroline Garcia was the other one?
I picked Caroline Garcia, maybe not to be in the final, but I at least expected her to go farther than this. I'm surprised at all of the American women who are doing really well.
Right.
I predicted Coco Gauff to do well. Obviously, she's a former finalist. But didn't think Sloane Stephens or the new what's her name, Peyton Stearns.
Yeah.
Don't even really know her that well. And Tommy Paul doing okay so far. Like I don't know what's going on with these Americans. But yeah, my whole bracket's completely destroyed. I don't even know what's left of it. So I don't really know who other people like who the other contention is for the final. I guess I still have Alcaraz. I also had Holger Rune making the semis.
Right. Okay. That's not a bad shout.
Yeah. So I don't. But given everything, it's like it's a crapshoot. I don't know.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, these Grand Slams often are. As soon as one person go out, the whole domino kind of if you're whole mentally and matchups are matchups in tennis. That's why like one player could beat another player 10 times, but can't beat the player who's lower ranked. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's it's a strange one. Ostapenko going out today. Didn't see that coming at all. So fair play.
I think I picked her to win today.
Penko?
Yeah, Ostapenko. I also picked Stan Wawrinka to win today, and he did not.
Well, I watched bits of that match today, and to be fair, like it was just quite an enthralling match to watch, quite enjoyable.
I know. I really wish I'd seen it. All of the 5-setters that Kokkinakis has played in the last like year or so.
Yeah.
I have. They've all been incredible, and I've slept through all of them because they're always on at like 3:00 in the morning, and I always miss them. And just another one gone.
Yeah. Well, of course, there was that Andy Murray one with Kokkinakis.
Exactly. That's the one I'm talking about.
The Australian Open, and I think there's that famous point that Kokkinakis likes just smashing it, and Andy Murray just keeps getting it back, and then wins the point, and then he smashes his racket. I'm sure that was for the set as well, or certainly a big point. Djokovic now with a set point.
So I really wish I'd seen it this morning, but too early.
Okay, so you don't want to know any of the results in case you want to watch one of them later on, or
no? I mean, I already know who. Like you know most of them.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And what? So ladies, then in terms of is it Swiatek and Sabalenka? Do you think that will be the final?
Yeah, I think that's what I had. Let me pull it up. Yeah, that's what I've got. I think I picked Zachary for the semis, so that's already shot.
Yeah.
And I've got Iga and Rybakina in the other semi.
Yeah.
But I've got Sabalenka. I think I picked Iga to win though, all around.
Yeah. Yeah, I think obviously that'll be the showpiece final, and by all accounts, I think it will go. Did you see any of the Korda match then at all? It's just
no, I didn't. It wasn't playing anywhere.
I didn't get to see much of it myself, but I was on with Jakob on Sunday, and he mentioned obviously Sebastian Offner because he knows his stuff about the Challenger Tour. And he mentioned Sebastian Offner and how he wasn't shocked that he'd reached the second round, and so obviously a decent result against Korda. Korda had started the year pretty well; he was looking good in the Australian and New Zealand tournaments, and then an injury seems to have kind of derailed his 2023.
I was so disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a shame because he's always had that potential, hasn't he, Corda? And you always think there's going to be big things, but as each year goes by, you just think, when's this going to happen?
Yeah. Well, and I heard him at the beginning of the week talking about his recovery since the Australian Open, and he said he had put on, I think he said 7 kilos of muscle.
Jeez, he looks like Fucsovics.
Yeah. And so I thought, all right, well, if you're in really good shape, you'll do pretty well, in this tournament. And no. So, yeah.
As Djokovic and now with another set point for a bagel, still talking to Goran Ivanisevic, still not looking too happy. This game has been the longest game, certainly, of this set as it approaches 6 minutes. And so I'm sure he will wrap up set 2 in no time at all. And I think Fucsovics just needs to reset here and just do whatever he can in set 3 to avoid a bagel or a 1 as he gets it. Has he got it? He's got it. Djokovic wins set 2 with a winner down the line, looking in the mood now. And as predicted, that first set, everything was hanging on it. And we're now into the third set. So is it any other tournaments you've been to then, Isabella? You're Indian Wells, I know it's an hour away. What other events have you managed to get to?
I did go to Wimbledon last year.
Right. Okay. Was that where you were when you were in the UK? Was it London you were at?
I was living in Cardiff, actually.
Oh, right, okay.
And so I went to took the weekend and went to London for Wimbledon, and it was maybe the best weekend of my life.
Okay, good.
I managed to through Jack Edward from On the Line and other Scotsman Scott from the Andy Murray musings.
Scott Bartley,
he got us tickets to Andy's match against John Isner on center court. He just had extra tickets, gave them to me and Jack. And I had never actually seen live tennis in my life at that point.
Okay.
So my first ever in-person tennis match was center court, Andy Murray.
Amazing.
It was the best day of my life. It was incredible. And then the rest of the tournament that I was there for, I just had a grounds pass, but I got to see so much cool stuff. I saw Liam Brody and Diego Schwartzman at their match. We saw Rybakina, obviously far before she actually ended up winning. She walked by us at one point, and Jack said to me, I've picked her to win the tournament. And I was like, I've never even heard of her.
He's a knowledgeable guy, as Jack.
Oh, yeah. He's just a genius. But yeah, it was great. Great experience. Would have loved to go back this year, but not meant to be. So I'll go to the US Open instead. And those are the only tournaments I've actually been to, just Wimbledon and Indian Wells. Yeah.
Good. And I take it, what was in Cardiff? Were you studying in Cardiff or
No, I was just there. I have some friends there, so I was just visiting and living there.
I've never been to Cardiff. What's Cardiff like?
It's like a big uni town, essentially. Okay. Not a lot going on. No offense to any Welsh people out there. I spent a lot of time in Bristol because it's right across the way. A bit more
amazing,
edgier.
Amazing. A globetrotter, as we call it. You're a globetrotter. I mentioned earlier on that there is still to come tonight a show that's special for the French Open. It's called When the Last Ball Drops, and I'm just going to let John just quickly advertise what's happening with that. We'll be back in less than a minute.
Coming to you every evening, night, day, depending on where you are in the world, will be The Last Ball Drops. This will be a show on talking tennis as soon as that ball drops on the last match of the day, morning, afternoon, evening or night at Roland Garros, probably on Philippe Chatrier. We will go live with a review of the day's play. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell That way, as soon as we go live, you'll get the notification, you can come and join us, and you'll get to hear the thoughts of people such as Mario, Damien, Jack, Nick, many more, maybe even me from time to time. You know the drill. Make sure you subscribe. See you soon.
Okay, court has been swept and set 3 is on the way. So you've managed to catch, part of the second set, most of the second set, Isabel, and it was obviously one-way traffic. Is there anything that you think Fucsovics can do to kind of stop this happening now, or have we pretty much just got to say, call it early because this game is done?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's once Djokovic kind of goes into that bageling mode, there's really not much anyone can do, and I mean, nothing bad to say about Márton, but he's not someone I would pick to beat Djokovic in the first place. So
yeah,
I don't really think he has a chance of making a comeback.
He was playing some decent tennis, some good tennis. He had so many opportunities, and most of the Djokovic service games there was love 40 a couple of times. He couldn't put it away. Eventually took it on the 9th break point. And it just seemed like he put all his efforts into getting that first set, which obviously he came up a little bit short. And he may be now out of ideas as Djokovic looks at love 30 on the Fucsovics serve. This will be for 7 games in a row plus the tiebreaker, as Fucsovics double faults now, and the fight is draining from him, and double bagel would be ultimately, I think, the goal is now just to get himself back on the board before full time, really. So yeah, let's just have a look at what else has happened today. Jessica Pegula, that was one for the Americans. Just obviously Camila Gorgi basically pulling up injured, but there's another. How far do you think Jessica Pegula can go in this event?
I mean, she could maybe make the semis. She is playing really well, but I don't know. I'm always iffy to pick an American to do well on clay.
Yeah.
But she is doing well, so she could maybe make the semis.
Yeah. I mean, I commentated for this on our first match against Daniel Collins, and a sticky first set, but eventually, she dominated set 2. Just going through the other ladies' results. Kasatkina, did you see any of the Kasatkina tweener today?
No, I didn't.
No, she won a big point with a tweener. So check that out on social media if you get a chance. It was a decent one. The celebration was pretty kind of nonchalant, shall we say, as well. Just a wee finger up to say, yes, I'm that good. Who else? Obviously, Sloane Stephens, you mentioned. On the men's, Rublev. The Rublev Ghost, our good friend Ghost, has Rublev going all the way to the final on the men's side, which...
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, listen, Ghost is entitled to his prediction, and until it's been proven wrong, there's nothing.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Rublev.
Yeah,
love Ruby. Yeah. If he made the final, I would be so pleased for him. But I would love it if he made the semifinal, because then his quarterfinal curse would be broken. But I just don't know, compared to the other top players, if he has enough of a weapon to really take on like Alcaraz, Djokovic, whomever. I just don't know if he's there, but I want him to be.
Yeah. I think you're right, and I think one thing I noticed when he was playing Mute today, obviously Mute is somebody who likes to try and get under the skin of his opponents, and it seems to me, for some reason, just I don't know why it hit me, but it just seems that that Rublev is a player that if you can get under his skin, you can put him off his game, and he's quite susceptible to that. So yeah, a frustrating guy, but you're just like you, Isabel. a guy who I adore off the court. I think, when you see all his kind of chatting in his interviews, and he just seems like a cute little guy. I know he's not, but he seems like a cutie. Ghost obviously calling Casatwina. I put that up because I quite like that. And obviously then Ghost basically reiterating that Andrei Rublev is going to dominate.
Look, I would love it if he did. I'm just a pessimist.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think he's just a step below the top guys, but a fan's favorite.
Although he beat Rune at the Australian. At Australia and in Monte Carlo. So he can be really gritty. So it's not totally impossible, but going up against somebody like Djokovic or Alcaraz, I don't think he has a chance.
Yeah. I mean, Sean Power in the chat mentioning a sports psychologist for Rublev. As Djokovic throws or gives the break back, so finally Fucsovics is on the board. He stops a rot of 7 games on the trot for Novak, breaks back, and so well done, Márton Fucsovics. Did you see? I know we were blethering, as we say in this part of the world, about Rublev. Did you see what anything that Fucsovics has maybe changed or anything like that as well?
No, to be quite honest, I haven't even been glancing over to that side of my screen.
Sorry, I talked too much.
I figured I just when nothing's really going on in the match, I don't really pay attention. But now suddenly everything's changed. Well, the whole match is going to turn around now.
Oh God, we'll be here for another 4 hours. He's just played a great wee drop shot there. I think getting that break of serve is definitely giving him a little bit of a kick up the bum. Great wee drop shot there to go 15-love up on his serve. As he reloads for point 2. Another drop shot again. This time Djokovic gets there. He goes over and Djokovic wins it with a smash. Great point by both and great athleticism by the Serbian. What were your thoughts then, Isabel, when Nadal, obviously, a couple of weeks now, with the big news that he wasn't going to be here? Are you a big Nadal fan?
I'm not a Nadal fan. I have nothing against him in the sort of Fidal decade. I was on the side of Roger, so
right. Okay.
That's where I stand. But I like Nadal. I wasn't surprised at all, though, that he isn't playing. I had said, I think the day before to my dad, I was like, even if he does play, he's not going to make the final. And then the next day he was like, I'm not even playing. So I kind of expected that. He's just too injured. And I mean, I would be very surprised to see him come back at all for the rest of the year.
Right. Okay. So you think he'll just maybe wait till next year to do this farewell tour that he talks about?
Yeah, I think he'll probably do something like Federer did, where we don't see him for a while,
right?
And then he will announce a retirement, play one last match, and then do that. I mean, I think that is coming up because he's so injured.
Yeah. I think everybody's telling him too much.
Yeah, and he's got a kid now, so maybe
exactly. Priorities change, don't they? And what's your thoughts then on the fact that he has basically said in advance that 2024 would be his final year? Like, I've seen people say, that players like I think Stefan Edberg did it, and he basically admits that he now regrets that decision because every tournament he played, there was more pressure on him to do well at. Thoughts on him? Maybe basically shouldn't have done that.
I don't know. I mean, I can see why that would add a lot of pressure. But it's also, I mean, I imagine that in the press room, journalists are always asking, like, when are you going to retire? Like how much longer can you keep going? So it seems like there's no way to win with announcing your retirement, because if you do, it's a lot of pressure every time you play, and if you don't, everyone's always asking you or questioning you about it. So I don't know that there's a good way to go about it. I think Federer did it really well. Not that anyone was surprised when he announced his retirement, but like he wrote a really nice letter and then was like, my final thing is going to be the Laver Cup, like no pressure there, and then we'll have a big party. Like I thought that was a really lovely way to do it, versus like Serena announcing her retirement. I mean, it was dramatic and in like in a fun way, not in a like, oh, not in a bad way. It was dramatic in a nice way, but really sad in another way. So there's very few ways to go about it well. So I don't know. Point. Whatever's best for Nadal and his family is what he'll do, I'm sure.
And you didn't get a chance to then see your favorite Federer at all?
No, I never did.
No.
I never did. I was kind of hoping that he would play Wimbledon the year I got there, but then he announced that he wasn't, and I was like, but I'm there. I'm fine. I came to you. I came to your.
Think about me. How selfish.
Seriously. No, and like that's all right. That's fine.
Yeah.
I have very
still
fond memories.
You still love him.
Yeah, I have very fond memories of watching him, in his prime, on television. It's okay.
He's forgiven.
Yeah. I got to see Andy Murray. I got to see a former number one, so like I'll take that. That's great.
Good way of looking at it. I like that positive.
Yeah. I got to see one of the big four.
Well, there you go. And like you say, on centre court, Wimbledon doesn't get much better than that. So, as on the tennis, Djokovic 15 loved. Fucsovics took his, as you can see by the scoreboard on your screen, he took his service game, consolidated his break, and he leads 2-1 with Djokovic serving as Djokovic clips the net. Fucsovics gets it back in play. Djokovic goes cross court again. And he's now going for the drop shot, trying to play Fucsovics his own game. Brilliant drop shot. The drop shots have been well by both players, and he wins that point 30-love. Anything on the? I don't know. I've not had a look yet, Isabel, and you might be ahead of me. I'll maybe check it out now. But the schedule tomorrow. Have you had a chance to check that out yet?
I haven't, but let me pull it up. See
if there's. I'm sure every day at this stage of the Grand Slam, there's always going to be decent matches. Just looking at the men's side, certainly to start with, you've got Sinner, Daniel Altmaier. He's been playing well, Altmaier. Sinner looked really good in his first round match. You've got,
we've got Monfils and Rune tomorrow.
Oh, you know what? That is going to be a must-watch, isn't it?
A barn burner, hopefully.
Wow, that's this time tomorrow night. So I'll need to make sure I'm watching that. You've got Zverev back. I'd assume Zverev will be on Chatrier, which might be the first time since his ankle break there.
No, he's on Simone.
Is he?
Yeah, no, he's on
right.
What I don't know French. Simone Mathieu.
Oh, right, okay, yeah,
that
okay.
is.
Okay.
What do you think of his chances? Because like everyone's kind of saying that he's doing really well.
Yeah, I gave him a chance when we were chatting about this with the guys, Sean, Ghost, John, myself on Sunday afternoon. I gave him a chance. I thought that a lot of people were, not considering him, and I think with each tournament he has been, playing better, getting back into the mix. He's met an informed Medvedev. I know he's gone out now, but he's met him a few times recently. But I think those events will stand him in good stead. Obviously, he got obliterated by Alcaraz recently. But I think he's got a chance. I think the longer format, he likes the French Open. He was playing some great tennis. The draw's kind to him, as far as I'm aware. So I think he's got a chance. He's got to be in the mix. And watch this. He'll now get put out tomorrow. So John's just updating us. Decent news. We've just hit 20-30 subscribers. All down to myself and Isabel. It was electrifying chat. And
congratulations.
Yeah, well done, team. A lot of Rublev fans coming about. Sean, obviously Ghost. So Taylor Fritz playing tomorrow. He'll be in the afternoon, probably late afternoon with the way the schedule is. Any Tommy Paul, like you mentioned earlier on, former junior French Open champion. And you get to see Thiago Wild, the conqueror of Daniil Medvedev. He's back on court against Guido Pella. He'll be in the early afternoon. Karatsev, Tiafoe, do you see any kind of shock there, in terms of Karatsev maybe seeing off Francis?
I'm not sure. I mean, theoretically, Tiafoe should be very good on clay. So he might get through fine. He played really well in Houston, which is one of the only clay court tournaments in the United States.
Yeah. He won that, didn't he?
Yeah, he won Houston. So he might. I don't know. Again, I'm very reluctant to give an American the edge on clay, but if there were one to pick, it would be him and maybe Coco Gauff.
Yeah. I mean, you just don't know what you're going to get with Karatsev. Obviously, a recent semi-final to Madrid, but I think, did he miss Rome, or I can't quite remember if he basically he didn't actually apply for Rome or something like that. There was something silly.
I don't
because
Karatsev?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Somebody will correct me, but I'm sure it was either him or Struff that basically, because they'd done so well in getting to the semi-final or the final of Madrid, they'd missed the deadline cut-off for Rome. So I'll need to check that out. Should really check my facts before bringing them up on a live streamer. As Fucsovics leads 30-15 here in Game 5 of the third set, putting up a better fight in this third set. I'm reluctant to say third and final set, just in case, after the second set bagel. But putting up a better fight here at 30-all, and he has the ball on his racket. He just seems to be just swinging and hitting and going for it, as I suppose he's all really left to do. But the favourite firmly for the match being Djokovic, as he returns, and Fucsovics goes, no, it dropped in. I thought it was going long. Again, hits the line this time. Fucsovics cross, great forehand. Djokovic still gets to it. It's hit the heights, lands in the court. Fucsovics does a smash. Djokovic still gets to it, and Fucsovics still not away. And we're now back in the court, and he's put it long. Fair play, Novak Djokovic. Great defence. That one will hurt. 30-40. He's got a break point. And fair play, great defence. Did you see that one there, Isabel?
I did, yeah. I'm a little bit behind you, so
apologies.
Still,
right, okay.
No,
so I'm ruining it for you.
No, it's like maybe 10 seconds. So
right, okay. I don't know. My Wi-Fi in here. In the past, like one night I was meant to do a stream, and it was actually an Andy Murray stream, and it just basically wouldn't work. But like ever since then, like the streams that I seem to be like, I did one with Jack. That was my first one. It was Badosa Sakari in Madrid, and my stream was like slightly ahead of him as well. So I don't know if it hurts. As Djokovic breaks serve, Fucsovics will be hurting because he's been playing better in this third set. Was big favourite for that point at 30-all. Had a couple of smashes. Djokovic, predicted the right way, and he breaks the Hungarian's heart as he breaks serve to go 3-2 up, and it's just a matter of time now as continue to look ahead. Remember, I will just remind you guys very quickly while I jump and grab a little drink of water, because Isabel's thought ahead. She has water there. But I'm just going to play the final promo before we look like we're finishing up in this third set for tonight's when the last ball drops, and what's up next straight after this match.
coming to you every evening, night, day, depending on where you are in the world, will be The Last Ball Drops. This will be a show on talking tennis as soon as that ball drops on the last match of the day, morning, afternoon, evening or night at Roland Garros, probably on Philippe Chatrier. We will go live with a review of the day's play. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. That way, as soon as we go live, you'll get the notification, you can come and join us, and you'll get to hear the thoughts of people such as Mario, Damien, Jack, Nick, many more, maybe even me from time to time. You know the drill. Make sure you subscribe. See you soon.
Back a bit late. Apologies, guys. As Djokovic leads 3-2. I was away, Scosh, you'll like this. I was away to get my Iron Brew.
Oh, Lord.
Have you had Iron Brew?
I have,
Jack gave you
yes.
Iron Brew.
Yes, he did. I spent a lot of time in Glasgow when I was in the UK, and the first time I went, he gave me an Iron Brew and was like, "Welcome to Scotland." And I had one sip of it, and it tasted like carbonated bubble gum.
Like nothing you've ever tasted before, I'm sure.
Yeah, and since.
Well, cheers. A staple diet of a Scotsman. So, yeah. Well, to be fair, I'm on Iron Brew Zero, sugar free. So, watching the calories.
I'm surprised that they can make a sugar-free version.
Well, there was actual controversy about that. For anyone from Scotland watching or listening to this, they put a sugar tax on like, you know, making stuff with sugar basically in here, and so there was a big hoo-ha, as we say, about the fact that Iron Brew had to change their recipe, and people were going mental about it. People were saving cans from like the old recipe and then selling them on eBay for like hundreds of pounds. It was ridiculous. So yeah, people just don't like change, do they?
No, not.
So yeah, as we go back to the tennis very quickly, Djokovic 40-15 up, good strong serve, and came up to the net and put it away on the half volley. 4-2 here. He's 2 games away, and he'll be happy to get in with another straight sets victory. You know, and the Grand Slams, Isabel, I'm sure you'll agree, it's about getting like on and off the court as quickly as possible in the earlier rounds, yeah? Yeah,
I would say so.
Yeah, especially.
I always say that the best matches aren't usually until the quarterfinals.
Well, funnily you say that, we were talking about that, me and Jakob on Sunday. What's your favourite day of the Grand Slams? I think he'd said 3rd or 4th round. I'd said quarterfinal day, because you get like, you know, all the big hitters. A couple of guys mentioned, you know, 1st or 2nd round day. What's your thoughts?
I would say 4th round and quarterfinals are probably my favorites, because it's where, I mean, time zone wise, they're usually later in the day, so I can watch them for one. And it's usually just a bit more of a toss up on who's going to win. The matches are generally a little longer, a little tighter. 4th round, quarterfinals. I mean, sometimes even the semis, but by that point, I think at least one of the players is like a little more tired than the other.
Well, it's all about the scheduling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every year there's a Grand Slam, there's a moan about, you know, who had the longer rest, and is it fair to the person who didn't? So,
but we've had some really good semifinals, like at the Australian and at the US Open last year. There were some amazing semifinals. So I think with the new crop of people, the matches are just much more interesting to watch.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's look, I'm going very early, but there's an argument. You know, we've lived in a decent era, a good era with three of the greatest players of all time. But there's an argument to be had that the wealth of talent is more wider spread coming into this new kind of generation, certainly on the men's side. And you could argue that the whole point, these three were just so far ahead of everybody else that it more or less made the Grand Slams pretty boring, as in you knew who was going to win it pretty much most times. Whereas the new crop, it's anyone's game. I mean, we'll have to wait and see how good Alcaraz and how dominant he'll become. But just a reminder to people watching, we're now the match we're watching, Djokovic and Fucsovics, is now officially the last match, the last tennis match being played at Roland Garros today. Women's singles has just finished. So that means that as soon as Djokovic wins, I've just went as soon as this match finishes, should it be a Djokovic win, as is looking likely, then Damien and Nick will be on with the last ball drops, talking you through what's been an eventful fourth day. God, I can't keep. I know.
I don't know what round we're in anymore. Is it second round? Are we still in the first round? I don't even know.
Does bench mix it up with a Sunday start? And so, for a fact that most Grand Slams are Monday. So, Monday's the first day, Tuesday the second day, Wednesday's the third day. But because they start with a Sunday, you're all mixed up in your numbers. Yeah. So you're like, right, is this the third day? No, it's the fourth day. What, like you said, three days of first round action. What you're talking about? That's not what you're doing.
And for me, it's all a day ahead of me, or at least 9 hours or something ahead. So when it's starting, for me, it's still Saturday, kind of.
Yeah. As Djokovic points to the crowd with a wee, defiant shake of the finger, because he's just won a pretty amazing point. Fucsovics had went for the drop shot again, and Djokovic was miles back behind the baseline. You'll just be seeing this now, Isabel. And but Djokovic has just pulled out, a dinking shot across the net from nowhere, and the crowd get on their feet, loving what they've seen there. What did you think of that? Have you caught up?
It's a great point. They've had a couple of really amazing rallies in this match. That's one of my favorite shots of any player, is that the cross court drop shot. I love that.
It looks good. It visually looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I think the players like that one as well, because whenever one of them pull it off, they're sitting there Russell Crowe, Gladiator. Are you guys not entertained? As Djokovic breaks again, he's 5-2 up. We're looking like we're only a game away.
He's serving for the match, isn't he?
Yeah, he's serving for the match. Surely only a matter of time. Damien, as I'm hearing here, Damien, I'm sure, predicted 7-6, 6-love, 6-2, which obviously if Djokovic serves that out is bang on. Damien, I hope he had a couple of pound on that. Because then he could be all buying as a pint at the next Grand Slam. But Damien's knowledge, unreal. I listen to a lot of the content the guys produce, podcasts, etc. And sorry, Sean, you've just made me look silly. He was basically talking nonsense, but I hope he does, because Damien, that's the thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if Damien predicted that.
Thank you. Yeah. So joke's on you, Sean. So as I say, Djokovic serving for a straight sets win. Story of the match really has been he started well, broke early. Fucsovics couldn't put away numerous break points. Eventually managed to get on his 9th break point while Djokovic was serving for the first set, taking it to a tie break eventually, which Djokovic dominated. And from there, he's not really looked back. 7 games in a row he won, and he's now serving for it.
Who would Djokovic play in the next round? Would it be
I was just going
Fokina?
Davidovich Fokina, who beat Luka Van Asch earlier on today. And I was going to say that earlier on, I had pulled up the head-to-heads of the pair. It's 2-1 in Djokovic's favour.
Yeah.
But they met in clay twice. Djokovic won in Rome in 2021. He won in the hard courts of Japan in 2021 Olympics. But the last time they played, Davidovich Fokina won in 3 in the Monte Carlo Masters. Do you remember that match? He won 6-1 in the third and final set.
Yeah.
So it'll not be an easy task for Djokovic. I think he'll probably get through it in 4. Yeah. But it'll be an interesting one to watch as Davidovich Fokina is one that just plugs away until
I do like him. I like him. I hope I can catch that match. I hope it's on at a decent time.
Do you like him because he has a cat and dog sanctuary?
He has a what?
He has a cat and dog sanctuary in Spain.
Oh no, I didn't know that. I just like him. I usually, because I like to be funny. I usually just pick favorites based on their level of attractiveness, and he's got good hair. So
he does have good hair.
So have you
seen the Twitter? Have you seen the Twitter feed about how Davidovich Fokina ended up on the ground?
No.
And so whenever, because they obviously nearly every match he ends up rolling about the ground, diving for shots. So every time he does, just this Twitter account just puts up a picture going no. Or did they avoid the ground? And it's like no. But he's apparently. I listened to the ATP podcast. He was doing a talk about it on that in an interview, and so he has. So basically, Spain is reportedly full of stray cats and dogs. And so he basically wanted to do something about it. So he set up a cat and dog home, and they take in like 700 like cats and dogs like every month. It's like unreal. I know. And you're like, wow.
Well, then he's a good guy.
He is a good guy. He certainly is. As what's happening now, I think Fucsovics is challenging. I don't know if it was a Djokovic serve, which has been called out by the umpire. So he might have a break point here, does he? Or is this just a serve, was it?
I think it was just the serve.
Yeah, but at 30-all, Djokovic 2 points away.
Here's the challenge. I've got it.
It's a slightly second serve. Both players, Djokovic in the mood. Forehand down the line, another forehand down the line. He stretches to get a backhand, which he sends deep. Fucsovics gets it back. Fair play. Drop shot by Djokovic. Fucsovics doesn't get there. Does he get there? Oh, what a point. Oh, you're about to see a great point there. As Djokovic applauds Fucsovic. Honestly, I don't think I've described it properly, but, Djokovic, great backhand into the corner. Fucsovic gets it. Djokovic tries to play the drop shot. Fucsovic gets that. And Djokovic can only go high and long with the follow-up. Let's see it.
Oh, yeah.
Oof,
my God.
What a get.
Whoa. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah, 2. Couldn't get oh, man.
And Djokovic applauds. So, break point for Fucsovic. We thought we were getting an early bath here, but not as yet. It's... we're still going. So we'll see what happens. Of course, when this match does finish, we'll not really hang about. We will get the guys, Damien and Nick, and I'm sure they will take you through this Djokovic match in further detail, as well as everything else that happened today. Pardon me. That's the Aaron Brew coming through. Second serve, breakpoint Fucsovic. Down the tee serve. Backhand slice by Fucsovic, backhand by Djokovic, runs around for the forehand and hits the net. Fucsovic breaks again. And we're now to 5-3.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, obviously in the first set, Djokovic served for the first set. He's now served for the match. He's still got the insurance of another effort at it should Fucsovic hold serve. Did you answer me about your thoughts on Djokovic winning it? I know you asked me. Did you share your thoughts, Isabel? I think you did mention a little bit.
I'm not really sure. I've been hearing talk about like where his head is at and how that's he affecting his play and that he's distracted or unmotivated. But then I watch this and I'm like, no, he seems fine. He seems the same. So I don't know. I mean the French is one of those tournaments for him where, given the right challenge, he could go out in the next round. clay for him is not necessarily a strength. Not that he's poor at it by any means, but like compared to hard court, so I really don't know. I didn't predict him in the final. I still probably wouldn't.
Okay.
Given the people he still has to get through. I might feel differently after his match with Fekina, assuming he wins this match.
Well, it's still a big ask for. It's still a big ask. I think you're right. I think Clay is a leveler for a lot of it. Obviously, so dominant in the Australian hard courts. Pretty dominant elsewhere. But Clay has been a leveler, and I think Djokovic is the most Djokovic losses come on the a clay court. So I think you're right in terms of would you say that, have you heard that his head's distracted because of like, for say, the camera message about Kosovo, etc.?
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on in that part of the world. I don't know what's happening politically, so I don't even really know what he was referring to. I just heard talk of it, through the blogger community, that he was distracted by things at home. And that might affect his play, but I don't really see that happening. In this match. But also I'm looking at who's still left on the men's side. He might be the strongest clay court player they have.
Fair enough,
in terms
stronger
of
than Alcaraz.
I mean, Alcaraz just doesn't have enough of a record on clay. I mean, he's only won one clay court tournament this year?
No, was it? There was Barcelona and Madrid. We did the double.
Okay.
So yeah.
I guess in terms of numbers, Djokovic has the best record on clay out of everybody left.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, although Rune hasn't won a clay court tournament, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, but I think he's probably got the best chance numbers wise, but like physically, I think he could still easily go out.
Well, he's smiling right now. He's just slammed a second serve return winner down the line, and then just did a pretty much like a run round the court, smiling after he did so, to set up his first match point on the Fucsovics serve. And this match could only be a few seconds left in it. Match point here for Novak Djokovic. The first serve goes halfway up the net by the Hungarian. Second serve down the. Oh no! I thought he'd done the down the line winner again. He's pulled it long, and the match goes on. We're at juice. What do you think about the Fucsovics outfit?
I'm not a big fan of neon or zebra stripes, but okay.
So that's a big no-no for you then.
I mean, it's not my favorite, but he doesn't look bad. It's not the worst outfit I've seen. I'm not a big fan of the Adidas stuff this year. Although now that I'm looking more at it, there is this like weird like lightning bolt on the front of his shirt.
That's
it's a little chaotic. Far away, it's all right, but like when I see all the details, I'm like, I don't know about that. French Open fashion, I never does a lot for me.
And his favorite fashion then would be the whites of Wimbledon, I'm sure.
No, actually, I think the U.S. Open has the best outfits.
I think you're right. Aye, no, you're
personally.
Probably right. Yeah, they're a lot more like flamboyant, carefree, aren't they?
Yeah, much more colorful, but like. Just like fun stuff. It doesn't get too weird.
Yeah, Fucsovics has gone wide, and Djokovic wraps up the match 7-6, 6-love, 6-3. We will wrap up fairly prompt because the guys are waiting to go ahead and do the last ball drops. Isabel, it's been a pleasure to go through the last two sets with you all the way over there in California, and we hope we can do it again. But guys, thanks for watching. Ghost, Jane, Mac, Sean, it's been a good night. Djokovic through. Thanks very much.